that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Free Radio.
Brother B.A. Ben Abraham, and I'm your host of the Man Up segment on Debate Talk For You platform. The objective is for all brothers from different walks of life to come together, link up, and build on matters concerning all various stages of life. If anyone would like to reach out on concepts and ideas, you can reach Brother B.A. at radicalrhyme1984@gmail.com. Again, radicalrhyme1984@gmail.com. Tap in. Let's build. Shalom. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom. How's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Doing good, doing good. I appreciate your platform. South Showtime, I've been a listener for quite a while, so just glad to be here.
All right, we appreciate you as well. Before we begin, as always, when we have new people that is on the platform, we always tell them to, especially you have to give a brief bio. So give a brief bio about yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. So my name is Anthony Patrick, a.k.a. Ant Pat. I'm a Hebrew by nationality and a Christian by religion. I'm a Christian apologist and currently a member of the Kaddis Group, which is led by whom many of y'all may know, Zadok Ben Israel, the Knesset Yeshua up in New York. So I want to give a shout-out to the Kaddis gang. I also want to give a shout-out to the Rebirth of the Nation crew, specifically in San Antonio and also nationwide with Og Morris and Joshua Cullers. Shout-out to the brothers from Berean Council of Gainesville, Florida, and also the Teshuvah congregation that I fellowship here locally. But I was awakened about 4 years ago, along with my wife, where we decided, not on our own accord, but I believe it was by the grace of the Most High, to repent and turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments as prescribed in the Scriptures in Messiah Yeshua. My family, they also help people find homes as well. So you can always reach me at Ant through Facebook, ANTPAT. I'm a proud alumni of PVU, Prairie University. I currently lead a very interactive Bible study ministry every Monday from 7 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central sharp every Monday. So you can always, if anyone interested in studying the Bible, it's very interactive. You can always reach me at Facebook by pinging AntPat, ANTPAT. But I believe that the Torah in Messiah Yehoshua is our heritage and the key to what our people have been talking about doing for a very long time now, and that's the reunification and empowerment of our people spiritually, physically, and socioeconomically. Along with me today is my lifetime homie in the faith, Marlon, a.k.a. No Star. He'll be reading today. No Star, can you say something real quick?
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? I'm here. Can you hear me? Good?
Yep, you loud and clear, bro.
Clear.
All right, great. Glad you can hear me.
But, yeah, other than that, I'm just looking forward to the dialogue, and let's get it.
All right, once again, that's Anthony Patrick, a.k.a. Ant Pat, right here on Debate Talk for you for the first time. We appreciate him for coming on the platform. Another special guest here for the first time, my brother Siheed Cleveland. Welcome to the show.
Peace. Thanks for having me. I'm new to the site. I just heard about it through a friend of mine. He wanted to get me to debate somebody, so he introduced me to Ant. And I'm here. I checked out your site. I'm pretty interested. I think it's going to be something big because of my audience on social media and collaborating with y'all. It's going to be nice. So I've been listening to Ant for like maybe 5 minutes when we had a debate before. And I'm hoping this little session right here is going to really educate me and him on the subject at hand, because I think we both really use some more understanding. So I'm here to debate my side and to listen to his. So that's my brother. It's all peace, love, and positive energy from my half. And I know he's going to give it. So I'm just here to enjoy the debate. I don't have nobody to read scripture for me, but if I need to say a script, I think I'll know the verse, and I think I'll know what to say. Not because I'm a religious buff. It's just I did study or read up on a little bit because I have questions. And a lot of people don't like a man with questions. So I'm here to ask a lot of questions and give some of my answers and my solutions to the problem that we call religion today. So,
all right.
basically,
Before
I'm
Yeah, I was
here.
gonna say before you begin, just give us a brief bio too. Like let people know who you are, any website information. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't have a website. You could just find me on Facebook or YouTube. YouTube, Instagram. I have a couple of different Facebook pages, but you can find me under You Gonna Learn Today. You can look me up. Is UYOU Gone GONE Learn Today. You can look me up on there. I normally speak to people who hit my inbox because there's a lot of people that hit the platform. So I don't speak to everybody, but I kind of read over the questions and the responses that I get. So you can find me on Instagram under Living Life and Loving It. You can go on YouTube and find me under Siheed Ali. I used to be on Facebook as Siheed Ali, but I got a couple of haters. And I'm not on that page anymore. So Facebook wasn't my real name, so I gave it to him. That's about it.
All right, so we're gonna start off with Saheed with the opening statement. Again, it's gonna be 12 minutes each. Once again, that number is 319 family 319-527-6239. Make sure you call in, and if you have any questions, family, if you have any questions when you call in, you got to press number 1 and stand by for the public Q&A portion of this show. That's right, we allow the audience out there to tune in and say their piece, and once again, let your voice be heard. As long as you got to, the only rule I have, you got to keep it clean, family, keep it professional. Once you call in, believe it or not, we have people that listen with the kids and even the elderly. All right, so let's get this thing started. Let me open up Saheed's phone line. Let me set up the timer, and go ahead, my brother.
Peace, peace. All right, everybody. I didn't know I was gonna go first, but all right. 12 minutes. Okay, let's do this. I'm here to debate on would the world be better off without religion? Now, see, my way of thinking and me reading a definition for the word, because I like to go with some definitions. Not all, because some definitions are wrong. But the word religion, it actually means when a group of people have the same belief. So I think that's kind of good. We all do need the same beliefs. We should have the same moral compass. But a lot of our religions out there, they try to sway left and right with the beliefs or the morals. And certain people can have morals for this and not for that. So I don't think that what's going on with the religions today that everybody's pushing, I don't believe that they are A-plus top grade or something we should follow as humans, because it's just so much divisiveness in these religions. So what we should do, believe in a higher power, but try to come up with something better than what we got. Because what we got is going to keep us running in this circle that we're in. And we need to get out of this rat race, because it ain't going to do nothing but lead us to the same destination. And I don't agree with how the religions today have us divided, with though it's levels to the anarchy. It's some say survival order. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that people say. And I know that religion, the ones we have now, is actually molding people's mindsets mindset and conditioning them to think, live, even eat the way that they eat. So when you take stuff into your body, whether it's religion, food, whatever it is, it can harm you or it can help you. And I think we as people, human beings, need to actually start stuffing our body that's going to help us and not harm us. I don't think we need the division that we have out here. And a lot of people be saying, yeah, Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream. Okay, he had a dream, but this wasn't the vision. It's a lot of confusion going on in the world, and religion, to me, is like the main problem because it separates us. What they say, evenly yoked. That term, right there, that alone says if they don't think like you shouldn't be with them. If they don't what? If they don't look like you, what? Like, I have a lot of questions. Like, me being on this debate, I can talk for hours, but I want to know what my opponent is thinking so I can actually focus my attention on his words that he's speaking. Some say I play with words, and you might hear it a little later on. Be real specific, I like to be correct when I'm speaking on certain terms and definitions, like racism, or like I like to know the definition that you believe is true, because there's a lot of definitions out there, and I would like to know what Ant thinks on his religion, because me on my religion is just like-minded people, and we have the same belief system on certain things. Not everything, because nobody believes 100% everything as the next man, but we can have certain beliefs and learn to work with what we have. But that's just me. I don't know how many more minutes I got, but I'm going to just ramble on because I'm here. So this is my first time in a debate setting like this. It's normally on social media and we debating live or something over the phone or something like this. And
just to let you know, right now, 5 minutes and 40 seconds has passed by, so you still got time. You got 12 minutes. That's you use your time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right. Basically, I was a Muslim all my life. And I'm about to be 40. And I think I came out of Islam maybe 5 years ago. I stopped being American maybe 6 years ago. And when I say American, it's American. I would put African first, because first I never put African in it. Like, I'm not black. I'm American. Like, that used to be my train of thinking. I used to have a capitalist way of thinking. That's all because of religion. That's all because of the conditioning that I've been brought up in. I went to church when I was younger. All my family go to church. We debate all the time. Some of us even stop speaking for months at a time. It's all love. But some people can't handle the questions, and I have tons of questions. Once I hear Ant's side. Like, I need to know where Ant coming from. Ant, we had a conversation for about 3 to 5 minutes a few weeks ago, and we didn't get a chance to actually get deep into it. So this is going to be good, and maybe we can finish our conversation. Back to my religious ups and downs. I was kind of lost. I still am, but I'm finding myself. But I was kind of lost when it comes to religion because I had so many questions. And when nobody couldn't give me the answers, I picked up the book and read it for myself, and I got my own answer. And then it made me want to give questions, but people still couldn't give me answers. So I stopped following my family's religion, my friends' religion, and I started following my own belief system, even though it was out here before I came. I just channeled in to the energy that was already existing. And it manifested a lot of energy in me that I try to give to the world. I just try to give it back to everybody. I think that's what I'm here for, to give, to let the energy flow through me to y'all. I do believe in a higher power. I just can't seem to stay with a religion that doesn't have a moral compass. And each of the books that everybody I know follows don't have a moral compass. And if slavery is condoned or actually taught how to treat your slaves in your book, I just don't think God put you here to enslave another human. And then let alone, even if you do believe your book will tell you you're not supposed to go over foreign land to steal slaves and bring them to your land. You're not supposed to do that, even if you was to follow your book. So everything after that was a big sin in America. And if we want it, what should happen to a sinner? Everything should be what? Yeah, let's give it back. They call it reparations. They call it a revolution. I just want us to evolve, and let's have let's evolve into a better people. That's all I want. And through education and a little frustration, I think we'll do it. I think we'll get it. All right, y'all, my time is almost up here, so it was nice 12 minutes. I just rambled, but I'm waiting for Ant, and this was nice. I ain't never tell nobody that I am not Muslim. I never actually told people live that I am not Muslim, because I still peace people. I still get on the salam, but I give that to Christians. I could give that to, I say shalom if somebody say it. Like, I'll give it back. I just don't speak it first. I give the peace, because that's what I'm about, peace and love, family. This Siheed. You could catch me on YouTube or on Facebook. You go and learn today. Look me up. I got like any more seconds? All right, people.
All All right, family, that was Siheed right here on Debate Talk Radio. We appreciate the family that's tuning in via phone and via Skype. By that number 319-527-6239. Everybody on social media that's checking out the show. I see a lot of people inside their Facebook group checking out the show. Do me a favor, share it on your personal page. Let people know that Debate Talk viewers on the air, and make sure you call in when it's a Q&A time. All right, so we're still in the opening statement part of this debate. It's 12 minutes each. Let's go to Aunt Pat. Let me open up his phone line, and go ahead, my brother.
All right, how y'all doing today? So yeah, that was interesting hearing the opening statement from Brother Siheed, and I want to say that I'm sorry for your sorry for your lostness, so on and so forth. I also want to give a shout out to the homie Heavenly Wardrobe. That's the homie right there. He's the one who kind of set this all up. But yeah, it was interesting to kind of hear a little bit of your perspective. So let's get going. So would the world be better without religion? That's the question. I think it's a great question, but it's an age-old question. And just like Brother Siheed said, I'm going to do the same thing. Let's see, what is religion, though? And the reason why I think it's important to look at definitions is because I hear many of my brothers and sisters in the faith, as representatives of Israel, claim that they are not in religion. But is that true? I even hear, even when I was in traditional Christianity, it was normal for us as traditional Sunday-going Christians to not claim to be in a religion. I know you all may have heard the cliche, it's not about religion, it's relationship. Can it be both, though? Could it possibly be both? Why does it have to be one or the other? And if you claim to believe the Bible and follow the Most High, meaning his laws, statutes, and commandments that's subscribed in the scriptures, isn't that then following a religion? Yes or no? So what I want to do is let's look at the Webster's Dictionary definition of religion. And Brother Marlon, if you can read the Webster's Dictionary definition of the word religion, just to preface. Now, when you look at a definition in the Webster's Dictionary, they usually have more than one description to try to help fully encompass the definition. Usually, the first one is usually the most commonly used definition for that term. So we're going to read the first two and go from there. Now, Marlon, if you can read, Brother Marlon, the first parentheses, number one.
All right. Webster's Dictionary definition of religion states as follows: the service and worship of God or the supernatural.
Okay. So the service and worship of God, and what else? The service and worship of God or the supernatural. So, audience, do you believe in the supernatural? Do you believe that you are in the service and that you worship the Most High God? According to this dictionary, you in a religion then. You fall under that umbrella. Marley, read the second one in parentheses.
All right. The second one here, okay. The commitment or devotion to religious faith or observance.
Commitment or devotion to what?
Religious faith or observance.
Observance. Okay. So I'm gonna reiterate. If you believe in the supernatural, if you believe this is according to just the standard definition of the word. If you believe that you are in a service and you worship the Most High God, by definition, you are in a religion, Akeem. Well, let's look at the biblical definition, though. What about that? Because I know many times for all y'all who study the Word, who study the Bible, we know that sometimes there's a word that we use in traditional English. That same English word in the Bible may not really biblically mean the same thing definition-wise. For example, like the word love. We know, all y'all Bible students out there, we know that the way we commonly use love in the English language in our culture today is not the same as when you see the word love mentioned in the Bible. We know that. So let's just make sure, that it's the same, or let's see if it's different. Marlon, if you can give me James chapter 1 and read verse 26 and 27.
All right, James chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. If anyone among you thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue but deceives his own heart, this one's religion is useless. Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their trouble, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world.
Okay, repeat verse 27.
Verse 27. Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this.
So pure and undefiled religion before God basically means the religion to the Most High. This is what real and true religion is to the Most High. That's basically what they're saying right here. Okay, now read the rest again. No, start over with verse 27.
Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their trouble. And
to visit orphans and widows. One moment. To visit orphans and widows in their trouble. So this is so taking care of the oppressed is a form of a pure and true religion to the Most High.
Right.
That's who the orphans and widows were back then. And keep going, Marlon. After widows and orphans.
And to keep oneself unspotted from the world.
How do you keep yourself unspotted from the world? How do you do that? For all y'all Bible students out there, you already know. When you read James chapter 1, what is the context? If you start with verse 21 and you read through verse 27, how do you stay unspotted from the world? It's by keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's how. This is what according to the Bible, what pure and true religion really is. It's to take care of the oppressed, and it's to follow and keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You feel me? So the reason why I'm bringing up this verse is, let's look up the word religion in this verse in the Strong's Concordance. It would be Strong's G2357, the Greek word thriskeia. Marlon, if you can read the definition according to the Strong's Concordance for the Greek word thriskeia, which is translated as religion in English.
Okay. Religious worship.
Okay, religious worship.
Religious worship, especially external, that which consists of ceremonies, for example, religious discipline and religion.
Okay, one more time.
Religious worship, especially external.
External. So that means
which consists of ceremonies.
So that means basically any kind of form of worship that you're doing that's external. And again, y'all Bible students know exactly what they're referring to. We're just coming up off of Pesach. For all my brothers and sisters who just finished keeping Pesach and Feast of Unleavened Bread, and y'all were removing the leaven from your home, that was an external form of worship. That was an external ceremony. According to the biblical definition, you are in a religion. You are following a religion. Shout out to all those who are on the full moon calendar, because I know y'all are getting ready for to keep the Pesach. I know y'all are getting ready for that. So, y'all, again, just doing that is a straight up form, according to the biblical definition in the concordance. It's straight up religion. So, case in point. If you claim that you follow the Most High and keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, then you are religious according to the definition. That's the Webster's or biblically. If you claim you worship the Most High, I claim you are religious, and the world recognizes that. It just seems that for some reason we don't want to own that. For some reason we don't. Me and my congregation are just coming off of the Pesach, and we removed the leaven from our household. We already know that it's symbolic of removing the leaven from yourself. It's a time of self-reflection and introspection. I remember Brother Morris from Rebirth of a Nation did a great discussion on that this last week. And this may or may not apply, but if the shoe fits, wear it, man. Because the reality is that we are in a religion. But the difference is that it's the true, pure, and undefiled religion of the Bible. That's what we're in. That's what we follow. You see what I'm saying? And that's the important part. If we own that, I believe that would be very, very much more effective when we share them with the world. Instead of saying, man, no, we're not in a religion. When the world are like, yes, you are. Everybody I talk to who are non-believer, they're like, yeah, man, you're religious. Yeah, so what is that religion you do? That's just because of the common definition. So keeping this very important factor in mind is why I submit to you that the world is not only better with religion, but I submit to you that the world is doomed without religion. It's doomed. There's no hope for the world without religion. Without specifically the true religion of the Bible, there's no hope. Everybody that I know of yearns, vehemently yearns for a just, oppressive, free government. Everybody I know yearns for world peace. Has that ever happened before? Have we ever in the history of the world had an oppressive, free, or corruption-free regime? No, we know that. Was there ever a time in the history of the world where there was world peace? Of course not, right? Not in recorded history, at least. These are some of the questions that I want you all to ponder on, audience. Is there any possibility whatsoever for a government that is free of religion or a government to be corruption-free? That's an atheistic government. Is there any possibility of that? Is there any possibility of world peace under an atheistic government? If you had a choice to be a citizen of a one-world government, would you rather it be under an atheistic government, which is supposedly religious-free, or would you rather be under a government that is under the divine, pure, and undefiled religion of the Bible? I want y'all to ponder on that question. But other than that, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and yield my time. And, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, family, once again, you're now listening to Debate Talk Radio. That number to call in is 319-527-6239. Make sure you call in during the public Q&A where you, the listening audience, can call in and ask your questions live. What you got to do is dial that number and press number 1 and stand by for the public Q&A portion of the show. So now let's go to the first rebuttal part of this debate. That's going to be 10 minutes each. We're going back to Siheed. Once again, it's the first rebuttal part of this debate, 10 minutes each. Let me open up his phone line and go ahead.
Peace, peace, peace. I'm back. Yes. See, that's what I like. I like a way I could come at him because he went to the definition. He went to the definition that he wanted to give. He said, I think it was supernatural, but when you look up the definition or when I look in my dictionary, but I'm going to be a Google guy right now. Right? I'm going to be a Google guy and just say religion definition.
Religion, the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods.
Okay. He said a belief in supernatural. See, his religion and his way of thinking do not want to give the respect to the human. He took it away from human straight right there. And when you take it away from human, you are lessening our people, the human race. You are lessening us and giving us religions that want to make us lesser than. But what I do, and what a lot of like-minded people like myself, from me studying and all of the things I done read, seen, and heard, we go with superhuman. Now, since we want to go with that definition, and I had to actually bring it out like that, I would like to break down what is a superhuman. Okay. All humans don't do the same thing. We cannot do the same thing, all of us. And there's some of us that can do things that others can't. And I'm going to say we are all superhuman in our own way, right? So women have superhuman strength. They are superhuman powers, if you will. They are willing to bring in life on this physical plane. Yeah, the man, his superhuman strength, we carry it. We hold it. Okay. It's other things that I can get into on this physical plane, but I just want to go into, I'm just gonna stay with birth for the superhuman. And I don't want to go supernatural because people, when you say supernatural, they think of black magic. And ooh, black. Don't think of black magic because they are conditioned to think that way. And we're going to understand, or you're going to learn today, because women are superhumans because of a certain thing that they can do, as far as being able to nurture a baby inside their body and outside, and help that baby grow. A man can't do that. That's some superhuman stuff. That's superhuman to me. And I like to give praise and worship to my women, because if we don't worship them, who else will? We need to start worshiping each other, praising each other, because we need that love. But we tend to give it other places, but we need it. I want to say what's up to all of my brothers and sisters out there who want to call themselves kings, queens, gods, and goddesses. Like, I respect y'all. I have a lot of admiration, care, love for y'all, because standing is a great, it's like a high. And when you have understanding and you're able to meditate and astral, like, there's a lot of things that we can do on this physical plane and just travel just because of our brain, just because of our mind. But we don't all know how to use it. And that's part of our problem. The religions we have do not allow you to use all of your mind. Do not go outside of this realm. Do not think about supernatural or black magic or voodoo or none of that. That is all out of bounds. You know why? Because it don't coincide with nature for them. But for us, it coincides with nature because we love nature. We are nature. So we are one with nature. But a lot of religions hate nature because they fear nature. But I know I am going to have to explain more in detail why I worship women. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Google, what is a God? God definition.
God, in Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being.
Okay, it ain't give number 2. But number 2 is a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortunes as a deity. Okay, now, what is a deity? A deity is a god, goddess. Okay? Why would you want to call a woman a god or a goddess? Why would you worship women? Well, Let's find out what's the definition of worship. Worship definition.
Worship the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity.
So if I want to call my woman a god because she is a deity, because she do have a certain power of nature, because she gives birth, why do I not want to express a reverence or admiration for this woman? Why not? Don't she deserve it? I think she do. Don't you, audience? Do you think a woman should be worshipped? Shouldn't we put our women on a pedestal? Yes, I believe our women should put us on a pedestal as well. I'm not taking us off the pedestal. I'm talking about putting each other on pedestals. That's what I'm talking about. And I believe once we all put each other on a pedestal and stop letting things divide us and just show love and go with love, humanity will win. We don't need these religions that they say is the true religions, because none of them are true, because they was written and endorsed by man that was back in the day trying to have greed, capitalism, fear, all oppressing the people. So I don't think that we should run with something that was created years ago. When we evolve, so should our religion and positive energy. I think my 2 minutes is up. Still got right. But yeah, basically we should worship each other and put each other on that pedestal. I believe that would bring humanity together as one, and will stay that way. But we got to go with love first. We can't have hate. Well, excuse me, we can't have fear involved, because fear is ignorance, and ignorance nowhere near blissful. Peace.
All right, family, once again, the number to call in is 319-527-6239. Title of this debate: would the world be better off without religion? Would the world be better off without religion? My special guest, Anthony Patrick versus Siheed Cleveland. Once again, feel like I always say, take down your notes, and make sure you call in. If you have any questions, the number is 319-527-6239 and press number 1, and that lets me know that you have a question for the special guest. Also, for those that don't want to call in, we have those listeners out there that's a little bit shy, but they still have a question. Send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, letter U, @gmail.com, and I'll gladly read out your questions to my special guests. So we're still in the first rebuttal part of this debate. It's going to be 10 minutes each. Let's go to Anthony Patrick. Let me open up his phone line and go ahead.
Yeah, interesting, man. Interesting viewpoint. Brother Marlon, go ahead and go to Acts chapter 10 for me and give me verse 25 through 26.
All right, one moment. All right, Acts chapter 10, 25 and 26.
Verses 25 and 26.
All right, Acts chapter 10, 25 and 26. As Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. 26. Peter lifted him up, saying, "Stand up. I myself am also a man."
So here we go. We got Peter. Peter was one of the great leaders. Was one of the great leaders of our forefathers. Did not accept worship. He said, "No, don't do that." Now, you're saying that we should worship women. You're saying because women can have children. I know women that can't have children. Damn. What about the women that are barren? So they're not gods? I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. See, that's one of the very issues that we're dealing with today. Worshiping another human being is nothing but idol worship. That's not what our people was doing. That's not what we was created to do, man. That is far from that. Brother Marlon, give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 64.
All right, Deuteronomy 28, verse 64?
Yep.
All right, Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. Then the Lord will scatter you among all people, one end of the earth to the other, and there you shall serve other gods, which
serve what?
You
what? There you should serve what?
Other little
when you serving, when you are worshiping a woman, when you worshiping another human being, it don't matter if it's a woman, it don't matter if it's a tree, it don't matter if it's nature. You talking about nature and all that, bro? You serving other gods, other than the one who created you and made you and had a purpose for you. That's nothing but part of the curses that was put on our people for breaking the covenant that he made with us, with our forefathers. That's what that's a symptom of. We got to get out of that, man. We got to get out of that and turn to the pure and true religion of the Bible that I referenced earlier. The pure and true religion of the Bible, which is helping out the oppressed, being there for your people, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You also mentioned about how the Bible is written and endorsed by man. Okay. So does that mean that it's not true? I hear you talking about how the Bible is written and endorsed by man. But when you go to school, do you read history books? Do you reference any, if you get ill, do you reference any of the information that you see on the websites from doctors that they wrote down? But you automatically signing off the Bible that was written by the inspiration of the Most High, by the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, to reveal to you the truth about not only your people, but about the world and what's soon to come to pass. I totally disagree with that, fam. The thing you said was that we need to come up with something else. So you're implying that you're okay with religion. We just need to come up with something better because what's out there now isn't good enough, right? Well, how about you give me what you believe is the religion we should follow. Give me what you believe is the religion we should follow. Now, I understand you came from Islam. Are you familiar with Muhammad and what he done and what he did to your people? What he did to the Israelites who were out there in the Near East and in the Sinai Peninsula and in Arabia, and how he oppressed them and put them into slavery? I'm just saying, man, it's just food for thought. So, another thing, I'm wondering where you got your definition from religion from. I mean, I'm like, bro, where did you get that definition from? Because I'm getting mine straight from the Webster's Dictionary. Just Google it. Just Google Webster's Dictionary, type in religion, and it'll come up. And you were playing the definition of religion in audio as if it was if it was something like totally groundbreakingly different than what I was saying, and it was like saying the same thing. So the fact of the matter, man, is that the pure and true religion of the Bible is going to lead to that perfect government. It's going to lead to world peace. The Mashiach is going to return, and he's going to rule and reign. And there's going to be world peace worldwide, what everybody's been yearning for since day one, what everybody's been yearning for. Marlon, give me Isaiah chapter 11 and then read verse 1 through 9.
All right, Isaiah chapter 11. All right. All right. All right, Isaiah chapter 11, 1 through 9. Let's go. There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. His delight is in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt of his loins, and faithfulness the belt of his waist. The wolf also shall dwell in the land. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The wolf also shall dwell in the land. The leopard shall lie down with the young goat, and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear shall graze. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
All right, so the reason why this is very important is because this is giving you a snapshot. This is a prophecy, fam. You saying this is man-made? This is prophetic, and this is going to happen. This is when world peace is going to be across the earth, and the world will be ruled and reigned under the pure religion of the Bible. When we think about world peace, we just think about, no war. It's going to be deeper than that. World peace is going to, you talked about nature? World peace will include nature as well. Even the nature will be at peace. This is what's being referred to here, that the wolf is no longer going to be killing. Lions will be eating straw. The babies will be chilling with the ass, which is a snake. True world peace is going to come through this true religion of the Bible. And you're saying that this is bad. You're saying that this is division. Nah, bro. I disagree with that. I yield.
All right, family. I know there's a lot of people on social media checking out the show. We appreciate the listening audience out there that's checking out Debate Talk View. Would the world be better off without religion? The number is 319-527-6239. So let's get into the second rebuttal part of this debate. That's going to be 8 minutes each. Let's go back to Siheed. I'll open his phone line and go ahead.
Peace. Okay. I should start backwards because I want to go with what you said about Prophet Muhammad and what the Islamic people did to our people. Well, trust me, I think the Crusades, I think the Christians, and I think the churches then did equal amounts of oppression, terror, murder, and just all across the board division with separation. I don't trust history books as well. I heard you say something about, do you read your history book? Well, did that history book teach me about my people? Some people. Yeah, so I don't take history books at face value. I know it's deeper, much deeper than that when you're dealing with the people that we're dealing with in this society. Greed, whoremongers, that's what we're dealing with. I understand why you believe what you believe, but what I don't understand yet is how to get through to people who have that mentality. I'm learning. And with you, I'm going to sharpen my sword, whereas though I can try to help you help others. Because I know your heart is in the right place. You just got the wrong mentality. Not saying that it's going to make you an evil person. It's just not going to make you go with love, because you're going to have limits to your love. Because you don't want to worship women. You think that's wrong, and you think worshiping people, because I want to worship people, all in general, not just my woman, your woman, your sister, your mother, and not in a sexual way, not a disrespect. It's all love. See, we fear love because we don't know love. Once we get to know love, you are one with love. So me, I'm not going to make someone lesser than because, oh, well, your father or the society you in messed up your body and made you not be able to conceive a baby. Like, that's childish and ignorance. And that is something that religion in our head. Remember, we used to kill women, right? Which religion was that? Oh, that was both of them, right? You thought of both of them. You was just saying Islam. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that's Christianity too. Remember the witch trials? Well, yeah. Like, all religions had evil or still have evil in them. And I don't think it should be. But you believe that this is God's word. All of it is God's word, right? Isn't everything God, like the all? Aren't we talking about the all? Isn't women part of the all? Aren't you part of the all? Peace, God. Aren't you part of the all? Shouldn't I show the all respect? Or are you not part of the all? And if you are not part of the all, you can let me know. I don't have to give you that love, even though I'm going to still give it to you because I know you just ignorant. And I still love my ignorant brothers. I still love them. There's no reason that I shouldn't love my ignorant brothers because at one time I was ignorant. Probably still am to certain things. Well, I know I still am to certain things. So we grow when we grow. And yesterday, I didn't know. But today I do. So should I hate somebody because they found out a day later than me? No. It's all love, brother. All that hate and separation and saying we shouldn't worship, it's things that we all do because of our religion, because we're in a box. And once we step out of that box, because our religion has rules and it keeps us in that box. And once we step out of that box and go into somebody else's box or step out of all of the boxes and just look at everyone, we'll have a better understanding. Matter of fact, circle and run through the boxes. Learn all you can because there's a lot of information in each of them boxes, and you can take from them and give to the new. And I didn't say that we shouldn't have no religions. I just said the ones we have now needs to evolve because we did as people. We grew. We grew. We shouldn't keep ancient stuff for the people to run on because we ain't running on the real. We running on his story, not our story. So when you want to run on somebody else's story, learn the truth. Learn the root first. Get the root of the truth And then you'll be able to start from start and not from the middle or the ending, should I say. Peace, peace. It's all love and positive energy.
All right, family. Once again, I know you guys join this debate. Would the world be better off without religion? Would the world be better off without religion? Like I said, family, if you're for your first time listening to the show, you can call in and let us know what you think about this debate and this title. The number is 319-527-6239. Anybody can call in. We don't screen calls. Only rule that we have. There's no foul language. Got to keep it clean. Once you call in, keep it professional. All right, so let's go to Anthony Patrick with his second rebuttal, part of this debate. Again, it's 8 minutes. Let's open up his phone line and go ahead.
All right, appreciate you. So, again, very interesting things you're mentioning here, and to be honest, brother, it sounds to me that you're really just coming up with a whole bunch of sound goods. Right now, what I'm coming at you with is facts and truth. And I'm telling you, this is what's happening. This is what's going down. And this is what's going to cause the unity. This is what's going to cause the empowerment in every aspect that you can imagine for your people, and which will also, because of that, it will also bless the world, bless the entire world moving forward. This is fact. What is evil about that? You're coming up with things that sound good in your mind. It sounds good, none of the religions right now are good. We should come up with something else. We should evolve. You believe in evolution? You know that evolution was a totally man-made concept. A matter of fact, when you get deeper into evolution, racism was the root of it. Was a major. I would say racism was a major factor regarding the whole theory around evolution. To say that you were lesser than a man, you as a black man are lesser evolved than the rest of the world. You're more closer to a primate. You came from monkeys. The Most High didn't create you. The Most High did not create you. You came from monkeys. And you also said the churches and the Crusades did an equal amount of murder as Islam. Okay, all right, I hear you. The Crusades included Islam in it. Islam was a part of the Crusades. And also, when you say the churches, that's a very general term. That's Catholicism, fam. That is not the true and pure undefiled religion of the Bible. Those same people that were spearheading the Crusades that you call the church were in the same breath enslaving and killing our people who were trying to follow the pure and undefiled religion of the Most High, who were trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So that point is mute, Ak. That point is mute, bro. And you said that my heart is in the right place. You said that my heart is in the right place, but I have the wrong mentality. I would like you to expound on that in the next round, if you don't mind. Because world peace, living in a world where there's no murder, where there's no killing, where there's no war, where there's no capitalism, didn't you bring that up? Where there's no one being oppressed anymore? That's the wrong mentality? I need help me understand. Help me understand, fam. Help me understand. And so you also said once we get to know love, we are one with love. You were implying that I don't know love. To you that you probably can use a little bit of understanding on what true love is. So love from a biblical perspective is not just feelings. It's not just, oh, I have these, I'm getting bubbles in my stomach because I have these feelings for you. Now, love is an action word in the Bible, arc, and that's why it's important to understand and the things that your forefathers have written for us to be able to read, study, and act on and do. Because right now, man, you're going off of a very abstract European version of love, rendition of what we call love. You also wanted to bring up the witch trials. You said that was Christianity too? All right, I hear you. Again, I guess in Salem, and you're talking about in states when they were doing witch trials and all that type of stuff. Again, those weren't people that were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Those were people that were following the pure and undefiled religion that I'm referring to in the Bible, that Messiah Yeshua, that Jesus, that they call Jesus, is going to come back and institute worldwide. That's not what's going to cause world peace. But we can get into the details that's actually in the law regarding, witchcraft and things like that. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm not even going to go that route. And you said that all religions are evil. Again, I'm trying to understand how what I've mentioned, which is the pure and undefiled religion of the Bible, taking care of the oppressed, taking care of the poor, the needy, and following the law. What's evil about that? I need you to help me understand what's evil about that. And then you started talking about you are not part of the all. Man, I didn't know what you were talking about right there, fam. I was like, man, I was lost on that one, bro. For real, I'm just gonna skip that. But as far as you referring to division, hate, and separation, what I'm telling you is that that's going to be done with. That's going to be done with when Christ Mashiach returns. So it's like you come on board, man. Come on board. I'm encouraging you to dump the Islam stuff. Those religions are evil, fam, because it's not the pure and undefiled religion that I just referred to in James 1:26. So dump all that. Dump all that stuff that you're trying to come out with you and use your own reasoning, and turn to the Most High God of the universe, who created you and created the universe by keeping His law, statutes, and commandments in Messiah Yeshua, whom they call Jesus, if you're not familiar with that, with his Hebrew name. So, this is really important to me, man, because this is not only about religion, but it is about heritage. It is about culture, and it's about what not only us, but generations after us are going to one day experience. And you're either going to be on board, or you trying to go against what's already going to happen. So anyway, man, I'm good. I yield.
Once again, it's Debate Talk for you, the Lions Den segment. The number is 319-527-6239. So we're going into the third rebuttal part of this debate, and this is actually the last rebuttal. And after that, we're going to go into the cross-examination part of this debate where both parties prepare questions to ask each other. We're going to get to that real soon. But let's jump into this third rebuttal part of this debate. Again, it's going to be 8 minutes each. Let's go to Siheed, the open his phone line. Go ahead.
Peace. All right. Like you said, I'm talking, and it sounds good. You know why it sounds good? Because I'm talking to your soul. I'm overwriting the conditioning that you have. Soon, once you keep hearing it, just like a McDonald's commercial, you hear it a couple of times, it's going to stick in your head. But I want to touch on something you spoke on, where you said that we are inferior, right? That's cute. But it's sad when our people would actually think if we go with our thinking, or let's just say the Western think we are inferior. Well, to me, they tell half of the truth. They tell his story, not our story. And the ruler always tells his story. And we've been losing for some time now, so we never really got a chance to tell our story. But you gotta dig. You gotta dig, my brother. And it ain't hard. The power at your hand. You got your phone. That got so much power because they gave us this tool called the internet. Now, just utilize it, and it'll teach you how not inferior we are. And I'm going to start by just talking about melanin, right? That melanin, oh man, that melanin makes you superior, right? So how can you be inferior? And I ain't just talking about the sun rays. Yeah, we are superior to a lot of all other races under the sun. We are superior. But the word racism says one who thinks they are superior, one who thinks their race is superior to other races. Then, okay, I guess I might be a racist because I think we superior under the sun. Well, matter of fact, I can't be racist because that's just a fact, right? And then you got to think about the melanin in your eyes, the melanin in your brain, right? It's something called melatonin that actually creates melanin. And melatonin regulates your sleeping pattern. And when you can't sleep properly, you get aggravated. You lose empathy, sympathy, compassion for human life, right? Because you aggravated because you can't sleep. It's just how the body works. And I went through plants, I went through animals, and I've actually linked humans because of the studies that I've been through. So when melanin, everything thrive better, live stronger. You telling me I'm weaker? I'm inferior? How dare you, my brother? But I still love you, my brother. I'm just here to teach you, my brother. Make it sound good for you, my brother. Because it's going to get through to you, my brother. You're going to learn today, my brother. It's all peace and love, my brother. But when I said you was kind of wrong, your mentality was wrong, you're pushing the wrong gospel, my brother. You can't be forcing the gospel on our people and telling them this is the way. You don't know. You ain't 100. None of us are 100. Even God in your book is not 100 because he regrets making man on earth. But he was the all-powerful who knew what was going to happen before birth. But it's all good. It's all good. You can look that up in Genesis 6, verse 6. Something about the wave and the flood. Ooh, my bad. Peace, my bad. Bless you. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I cut myself. I hope it ain't all go out. Oh, man, I'll be freestyling up here. If I had it written down, it wouldn't go like this. Like, I'm going off the top right now, and I'm trying to stay focused and bring stuff in, so bear with me, audience. Like, I know, brother, he got his team on the line, and they've been studying and waiting for this day, but I'm going off the top, so I'm freestyling. My apologies to the audience. My apologies to Style Showtime. My apologies to all of the listeners, to my brother that I'm debating, Pat. I'm gonna try to keep it peaceful. Just trying to teach you. Yeah, time up, but that was a good little session. Like you say, I'll yield. But oh yeah, get rid of competition and money, then we talking. Keeping our society down. That competition and money, that capitalist, nah, that's not for us. We shouldn't live in a capitalist society. Everything should be for love. Go with love and you can't lose. And I ain't talking about the bubbling in the stomach. You got to go with love. You got to know what love is. God is love.
Got 1 minute left. You want to yield?
Yeah, I yield.
All right, family. Once again, it's Debate Talk for you. What would the world be better off? What would the world be better off without religion? That's the title. Would the world be better off without religion? Again, that number to call in is 319-527-6239. This is the third rebuttal and the last rebuttal part of this debate. And next, we're going to go to the cross-examination part of this debate, where you're going to hear both special guests question each other, and you're going to get some answers to some of their questions that they have already prepared. So get ready for that part of the show. But let's get into the third rebuttal. Once again, it's going to be 8 minutes each. Let's go back to Anthony Patrick. Go ahead.
Man, oh love, man, this is highly interesting. So look here, man. Look, you said that I said something about inferior. I really do not recall that. I don't recall calling anybody inferior. I think you misunderstood me. But since you want to go there, we are inferior, bruh. We are inferior when you compare that to the Most High, when you compare that to the Creator of the universe. So, I mean, you were actually, referring to melanin, and I'm like, bro, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the science lesson. I sure appreciate it, but that don't got nothing to do with nothing. Maybe you're trying to imply that because I have melanin that we're somehow deity. Because I have melanin that maybe that's deemed to be deity or worship or something like that. No, man. No, because you know why? You know why that's ridiculous? Because unfortunately, man, everybody still dies, man. Everybody still bleeds the same blood, man. We are fickle. We are inferior. Life is short, man. Life is short. And the way there's one person who came and redeemed us from that situation that we're in, from this predicament that we're in that causes death to every human being on earth, at least once. And I say that very, very on purpose, at least once. Yeshua, whom they call Jesus, was the greatest revolutionary that ever walked the earth, bruh. He came here for our people. He came here for you, so that through him and through us, the world would be blessed. For the world to be blessed. For everlasting life. So that our fickle, inferior cells actually will have a chance to not die, to have everlasting life. That's fact. That's real. That's true. So, excuse me if I have the wrong mentality to you, and I don't subscribe to these ideas that you're coming up with as far as let's make up our own God. Let's create our own deity, and that would be better than the great revolutionary who came specifically to redeem us from the predicament that we're in and gave his life for us. But we don't know what love is? But this religion is evil? Bruh, this you haven't answered none of my questions yet, man. Help me understand, man. Help me understand. So let's see here. So you said that that I'm pushing the wrong gospel. All right, man, I'm pushing the wrong gospel. Okay. Well, what is the right gospel then? Yes, you must have better ideas than what the Bible teaches. You the way you talking and this and what the Bible is teaching, you must have something better than everlasting life then. You must have something better than world peace then. You gonna learn today, bruh. You gonna learn today. So now you are also referring to capitalism. You said get rid of competition. You said get rid of money. Then we're talking. That's what you said, huh? All right. Well, I'm gonna echo some things I learned from great Moray, Zadok ben Israel. Is that the kingdom of Mashiach is going to be far from what you are looking at as a typical capitalistic world. We're talking about a new world order, man. All that competition and money and people can't pay their bills and people working double shifts just to keep a roof over their head, and you have prostitutes that are running the streets just so they can have money so they can live. You have people running the streets on crack cocaine and dope fiends, people that's old enough to be your granddaddy running the streets on because they hooked on crack. All that stuff that's a direct product of capitalism will be no more. All that will be no more. Give me a better idea if you don't think this is the way to go. Because the reality, man, is this is the way it's going to go whether you like it or not. The question of the matter is, are you going to jump on board, accept the Mashiach, accept a revolutionary who came and specifically died for you, gave his life for you? Or are you going to move on with your own devices and try to do your own thing? You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. Hey, Brother Marlon, I want you give me you still there, man? Give me a quick verse real quick, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Give me Exodus. Give me Exodus verse 32.
Exodus verse 32. All right, let's do it.
Hold on, and let me give you the verse. Read verse 4. Yeah, read verse 4. Read verse 4 and 5.
All right, Exodus verse 32, verse 4 and 5. And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool and made a molten calf. Then they said, "This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt."
Then they said what?
They said, "This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt."
So here you have the Israelites, your forefathers. The Most High Creator just redeemed them from oppression from slavery. And here they are making their own God, trying to do things in their own mind because some things took longer than they expected it. Things didn't happen as quick as they hoped. And they're like, let's make this golden calf, and this is our God. Bruh, I submit to you, this is what you're doing today, man. I understand, man. I understand that you probably fed up about everything that's going on in the world. It's a wicked world, man. You probably fed up with the things that people are going through. I checked out your webpage. I respect, man, how you want to, unify our people, want to unify and have.
debate, for those that just joined in, would the world be better off without religion? I see we have more and more people calling into this show. We appreciate the family out there that's tuning into the Debate Talk Radio. We're getting closer and closer to the public Q&A. That's where you, the listening audience, can call in live and ask your questions. All you got to do is dial that number via phone or via Skype, 319-527-6239. Once you dial that number, press number 1, and that lets me know that you have a question. If you're already on the phone line, then simply press number 1. We'll go down in order and take some of your questions when it's public Q&A time. But now let's get into the cross-examination part of this debate. We're going to start off with Siheed asking questions to Anthony. The way this works is Siheed is going to ask his question. And actually, Siheed, you have 10 minutes to ask all of your questions, but of course, you're going to ask one question at a time. So you're going to ask your question. Anthony has 1 minute to answer the question. Once that time is up, you're going to hear this sound. That means your time is up. And Siheed, you have a few minutes, a couple seconds to do a brief rebuttal, and after that, go on to your next question. So this for, briefly, it's going to be question, answer, brief rebuttal, next question. Question, answer, brief rebuttal, next question. All right, so let's start it off. Let's go to Siheed and over to both brothers' phone lines. Y'all can speak to each other. But Siheed, ask your questions, brother.
Peace. And I do have a question. Something you said about everlasting life, right? But that's not on this physical plane. Am I correct?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's like in the afterlife. So another question for you. Were we sent here to die?
Oh, wait, let me rephrase. Wait, let me clarify. I'm sorry. No, it is on the physical plane. No, it is. That's what I'm saying. It is on the physical plane.
Okay, so we going to be able to live forever. That's what you said. We're not going to die?
Yes.
What about the people who did die? Are they going to come back to life?
Yes.
Even the ones that was before Jesus, didn't accept Jesus, didn't know about Jesus? What happens to them?
So the ones who didn't know who you claim. Okay, so the Mashiach was always here. Mashiach was always here. So those who were following in line and following the Most High, through His law, statutes, and commandments, like the prophets, for example, or Abraham, they knew the Mashiach. They were following the Mashiach back then. So yes, they will be resurrected, and will be on earth in the new kingdom.
And we have to wait for God to come back, right?
Well, the Most High God is here.
Okay, so if He's here, and for those who accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior, why won't they get that forgiveness that they got in the beginning, or that love? Why they can't get that back?
Can you clarify what do you mean by why who can't get that loving from the beginning?
The love that humans got from the Creator, that got from God, the love that He had for them, why they can't get that back? Meaning, we was not sent here to die, and we was not sent here to work and eat. If I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and God is here on this physical plane right now in the flesh, why do we still die? Like, because the sin, the apple sin, is what made us die, right? Because we wasn't sent here to die. God said we were sent here to live and eat.
Yeah, no, I get your question. Let me go ahead and answer. I got your question. I got you, bro. So that's the point. That's the point. The Most High is reverting things back to how it was in the beginning. That's exactly what's happening. It's going to be like the Garden of Eden again, bro. We're going to have the direct relate. The Most High will be here dwelling with us. And he will be our God. We will be his people. It'll be just like with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden again. So,
and how many generations?
You're asking why?
Oh, hold on, Siheed. He has a minute.
I don't know.
Okay.
But no, I'm done. Go ahead.
I just want what's that time frame? Like, do we got 1 or 10 generations? Because that 10 generational curse thing, where as though if you wasn't married for 10 generations, you can't enter the congregation of heaven. So whoever parents, I know listeners don't hate me. One of my friends told me I can't talk to him about religion because I make him think a certain way, so I can't talk to him. But the 10 generational curse was if you are not if you're not wed, you cannot enter. If your parents were not wed for 10 generations, you cannot enter the congregations of heaven. So, do we have to get that many years of generations to revert back? Do we need 10 generations? I'm trying to figure out. Cause is it going to be in our lifetime? Are we going to live to see this, or our children's children? Like, what's your time frame? What would you give your time frame on that?
So, the Bible doesn't say that if you, for one thing, the Bible doesn't say that, though. The Bible doesn't say if you are not wed that you cannot enter the congregation for 10 generations. It does not say that if you were born out of an unwed situation that you cannot enter the congregation for 10 generations. The Bible doesn't say that. So I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble answering that because the premise of the question is faulty, bro.
When you Google or look up the unwed mother or the bee child, right? I don't know if I can say the word, but the bee child. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Go ahead.
Yeah, true. Look up the bee child, and that verse should come up, and then you will have an understanding.
So you're referring to You want me to read the verse? I got it right here. I think I know what you're referring to.
Go ahead, sure.
And let me know if this is the wrong one, but I'm pretty sure you're referring to Deuteronomy 23, verses 2. It says, one of illegitimate birth shall not enter the assembly of the Lord. Even to the 10th generation, none of his descendants shall enter the assembly of the Lord. Is that the one you were referring to?
It sounds like it.
Because if so, if the illegitimate birth is not referring to someone who was born unwed, from an unwed marriage. It's not what that's referring to. The illegitimate birth, according to the scriptures, is referring to a lot deeper stuff.
What's the deeper stuff?
Yeah, I want you to expound, Anthony.
Okay, for example, you have let's see, for example, bestiality. You have situations with where you have people marrying with the nations that are. Wait,
okay,
let me finish real quick.
Okay.
Oh yeah, bestiality. You have situations where people were laying with the nations of unbelievers, of enemy nations. We're laying with people from the nations that the Most High forbid them to lay with. Those were illegitimate births as well. You see what I'm saying? So if you had an Israelite woman who might have been a widow, who might have had a child or was widowed and had a child, it's not illegitimate.
So, all right, I'm trying to understand your. You said bestiality. A child can't be born out of bestiality. So why would you even mention bestiality in that? If we're talking about children,
understandable.
Yeah. So I don't understand y'all thinking when y'all try to exert certain things into religion because it really don't fit. right? It's kind of hard to. That's why I don't really know the words to come at y'all with, because y'all all say some of the same topics, and I try to bait y'all in with certain things. So,
but another thing I want to throw in there real quick, bro, is that the assembly of the Lord is a Hebrew word kahal, and sometimes that can mean the whole congregation, and other times it's only referring to the elders and the judges, the people who are actually going to have leadership positions within the congregation. In this context, it's referring to the elders and the judges. So if you have a child by Moabite, for example, if you have a child by Ammonite as an Israelite, they're not allowed to have a leadership position. That's what it's referring to.
Even if you
it's not saying that
you lose your testicles, even if you lose one of your testicles in an accident trying to save a little child from dying, you can't enter the congregation of heaven. Why is that? Because you lost.
They're referring specifically to emasculation or castration. They're talking about the eunuchs. They cannot have a leadership position. Can't be an elder, can't be a judge, et cetera, et cetera. That's all it's referring to.
All right, let's just say because they was oppressed and they.
All right, family, we're getting closer and closer to the public Q&A, where you, the listening audience, can finally chime in. I know I see somebody pressing number 1 already. We're going to go down the line and get some of your questions and your comments, family. Again, if you're listening on social media, if you're listening on Blog Talk Radio, all you got to do, dial that number, 319-527-6239. Put it on speed dial. Make sure you call in. And when you call in, you got to press number 1. You got to press number 1. And that lets me know that you have a question for the special guest. But we're still in the cross-examination part of this debate. We're going to go to Anthony right now. He's going to ask his questions to Siheed. Again, the way it works, Anthony's going to ask his question. Siheed has 1 minute to answer the question. Anthony has a brief rebuttal time quickly, and he's got to go right into his next question. So question, answer, brief rebuttal, next question. Question, answer, brief rebuttal, next question. All right, so far everything's going pretty good, though, with this debate. Let's open up the phone lines, and Anthony, go ahead.
All right, so you said that you were referring, and you had a nice a science, kind of like a science lesson regarding melanin and you know and how that makes people with melanin a superior race and deity.
Never
can you
deity.
Okay, so you don't believe that people with melanin are gods?
I think all people are. I didn't separate because of melanin. I gave melanin a stronger impact because of what melanin possesses. The carbon that it possesses, it does something to the human body. So I never separated or lesser one human on a deity level, because all of us are God. We all have the power to create and destroy.
All right. Did you or did you not say that melanin makes you superior?
Yes.
Okay. So if melanin makes black people a superior race, as you said, there are many people of your race who do not have melanin in them. They're called albinos. Are albinos superior as well?
That's false.
Just curious.
All humans have melanin. If you don't have melanin, you can't live. It's carbon. That's false. Even albinos have melanin. They just have less amounts. Their body produces less
fair
amounts.
point.
So that's
Hold on, Anthony. He has a minute
statement.
to answer. He has a minute. Go ahead. Yes, you can continue. You have a minute to answer.
Oh, okay. That was a false statement you made. We need to understand the body, and before we try to articulate and downplay our own race, we need to understand what our race possesses. And once we understand that, we'll know why everything is happening. Everything is being done to this particular race because they have this particular amount of carbon. They want it diluted. And they will condition each and every religion to do it. So understand when you speak on melanin.
All right, next question. Got Anthony.
All right, okay. So then does that mean that white people have melatonin as well then, right?
Yes. All humans.
Okay, so
all animals.
Yes, Saeed.
So how does melanin make?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, my bad.
Yes, Saeed. Yes, Saeed.
Yes. We all possess melatonin and melanin. Melatonin regulates the sleep pattern of the human body, and it produces melanin, and it's in your pineal gland. That's where it starts. It comes in your hair, it's in your eyes, it's in your brain, it's in your skin. It actually bounces off your eyes into your brain, and that's how we get our information. It helps a lot. So you can go ahead with your next.
All right, gotcha. I'm moving along. So you said that that all things are meant to evolve as we evolve, and you said that that our religion needs to evolve. So one key aspect of the Torah is you shall not murder. Can you tell me how does that evolve?
Because
how does the law that you shall not murder evolve?
Go with love. And if you go with love, you're not going to force anyone's energy out of their shell because you love them too much and you don't believe you will possess the power to force anyone's energy out of their shell. So go with love. Go with love, my brother.
And that's an evolved religion? To go with love? That's not in the Bible?
Well, you just asked me how to stop killing, right? That's what you asked me, right?
How does what?
So you just asked me about thou shalt not kill. And I'm trying to tell you to educate on love. If you educate on love, then you don't have to, they'll know not to kill. Because they'll love their brother. They'll lift their brother up.
Hold on, he has a minute, Ant. That's right.
All right.
And lifting their brother up will be never in their mind to knock them down. So go with love, and thou shalt not kill it'll disappear, because God didn't say thou shalt not kill, because we can kill. If God don't want us to do something, we won't be able to do it. You know what we won't be able to do? Fly, breathe underwater. Oh, without an apparatus. That's unless he allows us to build and create that. So, yes.
All right, moving along. So, you said you stopped being American. What nationality are you then, if you're no longer American?
Oh, I thought I collaborate. I thought I went in a little more on that. I said I'm not just an American anymore. I don't consider myself just an American. I'm African American. I start from the root of civilization. I don't go with the migration. I want to go to the beginning. If we want to go back to the beginning, we got to go to the exact beginning. We can't start with the migration with all of the Hebrew Israelites. That's what they're doing. They're going to the migration, but they say they want to start in the beginning. The beginning is not the migration. The beginning is the beginning, and that's where we need to start at.
So you said you're African American. Okay. What nation in Africa are you? Africa is a continent. So what's your nationality? What nation are you? Since you're no longer American.
See, you would like to separate the continent, right? You want to separate the continent and give it countries. I'm for no borders. My brother. It started in Ethiopia. I know what tribe my fam. I have all of the information, but
so you're Ethiopian?
Hold on, he has a minute.
Well, life started in Ethiopia. So if life started there, that's where we are from. But you want to go with the migration and where we migrated and crossed the waters. But I don't want to start there. Why do you want to start from the second part, not the beginning? And say you want to start at the beginning. That's what I don't understand.
All right. Moving along. So you said that religion, all the religions. You said religion is okay, but you said all the religions currently are not okay, and that we need to come up with a new one. So, what is the religion that you come up with, and what is the religion that you follow today that's better?
I mix them all up. Right now, I take some from the Quran, I take some from the Bible, I take some from the Torah, I take some from every book that I can get my hands on. And if I have a feeling that I can flow with this, that's what I do. It's not one particular belief set where as though, oh, I'm never going to learn nothing else. This is all that it is. No, I'm open to the world, always learning. I'm not going to be trapped in some box where as though this is the rule I have to follow, this is the life I have to live because somebody else told my family that this is what we're supposed to do. No, I can't go like that. I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
So how do you determine? You said you get a little bit from all religions, just from the Quran, a little bit from the Bible. How do you determine what to get from which book, and how do you determine what?
My morals.
How do you determine what morals are good for you and what morals are bad for you that you should not follow?
My conditioning, my upbringing, my sense of value for human life, respect for existence. I respect existence. Anybody on the physical plane is a winner.
All right, family, there you have it. Hopefully you took down all your notes. Like I always say, take down your notes from both sides and make sure you call in with your questions and your comments. We're going to take an 8-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to hear from the people out there. So all you got to do is dial that number, family, 319-527-6239, and press number 1. If you already pressed number 1, stand by. Don't press it again, or else it'll take you off the switchboard. So once again, family, if you're on Blog Talk Radio, if you're on the internet, checking out the show on social media, dial that number, 319-527-6239. Press number 1 and stand by for the public Q&A. Also, for those who don't want to call in but still have questions, send me an email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, letter U, @gmail.com, and I'll gladly read your questions to the special guests. Well, let's take this 8-minute break. We'll be right back after these messages. Stand by. All right, family, we are back. Once again, you're now listening to Debate Talk for You Radio, the Lion's Den segment on Debate Talk for You. Today's show is entitled, Will the World Be Better Off Without Religion? I want to thank both special guests here. They're here for the first time debating on the platform, Anthony Patrick and Siheed Cleveland. And once again, I appreciate the information both special guests has brought to the masses that's tuning into the show. But right about now, it's your turn to call in, family. This is your chance to get some of your questions answered. Again, if you want to ask your question or say a comment live, the number is 319-527-6239, or send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, number 4, letter U, @gmail.com. So right about now, we're going to the listening audience out there. Remember, there's no foul language, guys. Got to keep it clean, keep it professional. We're going to go to the audience. Again, if you're calling in on the phone, just press number 1. Now, let you know that you have a question for the special guest. Let's go to the first caller. Let's go to 404-731. You're live.
Hello?
404-731. Yes, what's going on? How you doing?
Yeah, I had a question for the brother Siheed.
I know he was speaking about melanin and melatonin earlier, and saying that the melanin makes black people superior. So my question was, so if everyone if everyone had a decalcified pineal gland, would that then make everyone equal? Let's just say, if somebody could come in the world and decalcify everybody's pineal gland, now would that make everyone on the same plane, and it'd be no superiority for the darker people at that point?
When you say, what do you mean by when someone does what to the pineal gland?
Okay, from my understanding, the reason why black people have more melanin is because Caucasian people have a calcified pineal gland, which you spoke about earlier. So I was saying, if they were able to decalcify it, would they still be inferior in your eyes?
So you're saying if they was to have melanin, would they be still inferior?
Well, what I'm asking is,
if they have melanin,
if they
don't have the same amount as us. Now, if they have an equal amount, will they be equal? Yes. If you have an equal amount of melanin, yes, you're equal. If that's what you're asking?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. But what I'm asking is, if they had the ability to produce the melanin now, would they be equal? Yeah, would you consider them equal if they had the ability to produce the melanin that we're able to produce?
So you saying if a white person can make a black baby, would they be equal to us in melanin?
Well, white people are able to make black babies anyway. I'm saying if they were able to produce the same melanin that we're able to produce, but they were still the same skin tone, would you consider them equal?
If they was the same means equal. But now you just said white people can make black children?
Yeah, that's correct. Two white people can have a black baby.
What science is this? Where did you hear this? Where did you get this information from?
There are actually a couple cases in Africa where two white female and male had a black baby.
All right, hold on. Let's see if Anthony Patrick want to say anything. You want to address anything at this moment? Go ahead. You can make a comment.
Yeah, I think that was a good question, because actually, and there's also I just saw this on the news maybe yesterday or maybe last week, where you had a German white lady who was a model who just spent the money with the doctor and got some melanin injections, and now she black. I mean, that's all it took. You know, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that.
Do you think she would be able to produce a black child because she got? I know who you're talking about. She was on the Maury show. She was on a couple of shows. She had the big breast. That's what you're talking about, correct?
Yeah, but hold on. So I'm not referring to the context around having a baby. You know, I don't know about any of that. I did hear about I believe it was in England where there were two white a white couple who did have a black baby. I think they had twins. One was white and one was black, which was interesting. So I've heard about that as well. But that's not what I'm referring to. I'm just saying, if someone's superior because they have more melanin, it just made me think, well, what about the white person who just goes and gets melanin, injected in them? Does that make them any different? You know what I mean? It just made me think like that. But as far as the whole melanin discussion, all I would say is that that's just not my field of study. I'm not special, but what I would do is what I can do is actually just say what I believe is the case with the whole difference between melanin and why there's people who don't have as much melanin, why you have the different shades. I think the Most High, I believe it's probably just because the Most High, that's just how he is. He likes variety. When you look at many of his other creations, They're different colors. They're different. A lot of animals and different species are different colors. They could be the same species but be different colors, different shades based on a lot of different factors. And maybe that's, I don't know, but just my guess is maybe he's the same with us as well. He just made us different because that's what it is.
All right,
but I'm
Siheed, you can
good.
respond. Siheed, you can respond. We got some more callers. Yeah, you can respond.
I don't believe that God like varieties and made his one human more vulnerable to sun rays. I think that was something that we did to ourselves as humans. I think it started once we started to eat and all of the separation began. Eat meat, excuse me. Once we started to eat meat and all of the separation began, a certain food supply, a certain amount of sunlight restricted from just a different environment would totally change your makeup. And then add it in with the Neanderthal,
Yes,
the Neanderthal mixing with the species that we call Caucasians. Okay, them mixing is actually what gave us the modern day white race today. We're not all the same. We are all children of the high, but we're not all the same. And we wasn't here to be all the same, but none of us was lesser than the other. We were supposed to be able to live with each other and work with each other's differences to actually function on this physical plane. We have to get along to move along.
All right, what's going on? Yeah, man, we gotta get some more of these questions out. It's a good debate right here. Would the world be better off without religion? I get a lot of feedback. I'm seeing a lot of people on the phone lines. I do got some email questions. I think I have one for you, Anthony. Yeah, I do. I have one for you who says, so far I'm listening to the debate, and you haven't convinced me that religion is the way. Please, name one reason why I can't just be a good person, die, and then go to heaven. You can respond.
Well, the reason why is because you don't really know what good is. See, the thing about it is that everybody believes they're a good person. I know the dope dealer. I knew the dope dealer down the street would say he was a good person. He always would believe he was a good person because, he may have been selling crack in the neighborhoods and so on and so forth to different people, but he wasn't killing nobody. He wasn't forcing it in their nose. You know what I'm saying? We're only going by our own standards when we come from the perspective of, well, I'm a good person. I should just be able to just be a good person and go to heaven. By whose standard? We are all faulty. We all have issues. We are.
Hold on,
let me finish though. Let me finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you respond after. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, we are a fallen people. We are a fallen people. We are a fallen race of people. The human race. That's the reason why we're in the predicament we're in right now. That's the reason why you have what we talked about. Death, sin, drugs, war, so on and so forth. So I mean, the reality is that if you're trying to go by your own works, by your own concept of being a good person, you're doomed. That's the last thing you want to depend on. But I'm done.
All right, so
okay.
You can respond.
Okay. You keep giving references and dehumanizing drug dealers, right? I heard, I think, 3 times, and this third time, it made me want to strike. So, why is it that you think selling a drug to feed your family is you not being a good person? That's the first question. I have a second, but that's the first one.
No, make sure we stay on topic too, y'all. Make sure we stay on topic. Go ahead, though.
All right. I'll just make it brief. So just to throw it out there, man, I used to be honest, I used to deal drugs. Okay, I was a drug dealer. Okay, for years. So I could tell you from somebody who was on the inside that there's a whole lot that comes with that, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's not just the drug dealer. It's really anybody, man. I'm saying everybody. You, the stay-at-home mom, the soccer mom, who don't do none of that. We're all falling. Have you lied before? Have you stole before? Have you stolen in your lifetime before? None of us are good, bro. That's all I was coming from.
Yeah, but when we are all good, because nothing is wrong, but everything is wrong. That shouldn't be nothing I should steal. There should be no survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive. If my brother borrow money from me and can't pay me back, he should be my slave, a.k.a. my servant. When I believe it should be not the strong survive, but the strong shall carry the weak, right? And when the strong carry the weak, if my brother can't repay the money, I just let him have it. I'm giving with love. But see, religion, and I'm gonna stay on topic because we're in someone else's science project right now, right? And whenever they click off a switch or click on a switch, even if it is for the drug, because opium used to be sold to children as medicine, but now is if you do opium, you're a shermhead, you're a dope head, and you need to go to jail for selling it. But what about the medicine that the doctor getting rich on and killing our people, getting them addicted, turning them out on drugs? Is that a good man? Is he a good man?
Mm-hmm.
When the man on the corner is a bad man? What? Like I don't
preaching
understand.
To the choir, man.
Yeah, but we like to
I agree with all
dehumanize
that.
it. Yeah, but you the one dehumanized it and put him in the category as not being a good man, not knowing what good is. Like on whose standards to make? What is the standard of good? Like you said, did I ever steal before? It shouldn't be nothing I can't steal.
That's my point, though. That's my point, man. What is your standard of good?
Right now, hold on.
Your standard of good is faulty.
Let's let Anthony respond because we got some more callers there, and we can respond quickly. We got to go back to the callers. Okay, you can respond, Anthony, quickly.
All right, yeah. I mean, that's my point, and I don't, I don't remember dehumanizing anybody. I don't remember dehumanizing no dope dealers, none of that, man. I'm just assume that maybe you just misheard me. But the point is, that is the point, that we are all faulty. The doctor who's giving the drugs to the patient that's making them ill, and the dope dealer, and the soccer mom. I mean, I thought I made this clear, man, that we are all faulty. We are all fallen. You going off of your own limited mind frame with regard to what good really is, when in the Most High's eyes, all of that's trash. That has nothing to do with salvation. But I'm good. I'm good from here.
I know you want to respond, Siheed. Quickly, go ahead. Quickly respond, and we gotta go to the next call. Go ahead.
Everything happens here. If you are religious, goes through God. Everything. So, is God making trash? Everything we have is because of His will. God's will be done. It's not our will. Our will not be done. God's will be done. So, you telling me God makes trash?
All right, Anthony, hold that thought, write it down, and I'm going to let you answer that later on. We got to get some of these callers. Again, family, that number to call in is 319-527-6239. That's 319-527-6239. Let your voice be heard. By the way, family, if you didn't know, the show, it will be archived The show is archived. You can check back later on and check it out on Blog Talk Radio. You can also go to YouTube later on and check out the show. Of course, we're on iTunes in the podcast section. So whatever you hear in this debate, even from the callers, you can replay it and check it out later on. So make sure you go to iTunes in the podcast section, subscribe to Debate Talk for You, check out the YouTube page, Debate Talk for You, and of course, Blog Talk Radio. Let's go to the next caller, though. Let's go to 563-210. You are live.
Yeah, I have concerns with the brother what he said about we all have melatonin, even white people have melatonin. And if that was the case, then why would white people have to tan in order to get melanin? See, white people's skin is from sulfuric acid. You see, their skin burn in the sun. We have melanin that protects us from ultraviolet rays. You see what I'm saying? God did make one nation greater than another. And that's why I don't see why would he say that we all are in this human race when you have white people killing black people and being immunity for it. You see what I'm saying? But I want to just read a scripture right here, right? This was about what came. It says, Genesis 4:14 says, Behold, thou hast driven me out of this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass, everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So at one point in time, Cain had melanin. His melanin was taken away from her. You see what I'm saying? White people have no melanin. I don't care if you're talking about it's in the eyes, the hands, the nose. God took away Cain's melanin. Esau was born with no melanin. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, I want to just elaborate. This was about a heritage. This don't have nothing to do with religion. So we got to come out that mind state of thinking about this is just a religion where everybody's supposed to worship and join in. God made one nation over another, the priesthood, that we all may come together in the end and worship the Creator. You see what I'm saying? We got to read this, man, and read for understanding and stop relying on our own thoughts and lean on to the Creator and come back to the laws. That's all I want to say.
All right, Siheed, you can respond.
Peace, caller. You still there? He's still on, right?
You still there? Okay.
I'm still.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm still, bro.
Now, you said white people do not have melanin. Am I correct?
Yes, I did.
Now, are you going off of your own feeling and emotion, or is this a human fact? Because, as far as I know, a human can't live if they don't have carbon in them, and melanin is actually carbon.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. Why is it that a white man will have to tan in order to get melanin?
Sir, do you understand less
I'm asking you a question. Why do a white man have to tan in order to get melanin?
Because they are inferior to a black man because the black man has more melanin. That's why.
That means white men don't have melanin, period. They have to tan in order to get melanin.
No. They do. That's a fact. They do. And they
Show me according to the word of God, then.
Excuse me?
Can you show me anything showing that white man has melanin?
Yeah, he's not coming from a biblical standpoint. I guess he's coming from science. Am I right, Siheed? That's where you're coming from? A scientific standpoint?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going by science right now. Biblical talk, does it actually say Abraham, who you say got their melanin took from them? Did you say Ham or Shem? Who you say?
No, Cain. Cain had his melanin taken away from him.
And what was actually spoken that gave you that he took his melanin? What told you that?
Genesis 4:14.
What it says, please.
It says, "Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth. From thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me."
Where did melanin come into play? In that sentence, in that paragraph.
Do you understand what I just read to you?
Yeah, one at a time, though. One at a time.
I need you to break it down for me a little bit more.
Okay. The whole point in time what we talking about, from the beginning of time, black men lived on the earth. There was no other race but black. You see what I'm saying? So when we go through this scripture and we talked about how Cain was evil toward his brother, God punished Cain by taking his melanin. This is what God said he did to Cain. Do you understand what I just read to you?
That ain't like you assuming that it says it's taking his melanin, right? That's your belief. You believe that in them words, God took his melanin. That's what you believe, right?
Do we see white people in this world?
Do I see white people in this world?
Right. White people have lack of melanin.
They have less melanin, my brother.
They have no melanin. They have no melanin.
All right, stand by, gentlemen.
Do you know where melanin is? Do you know?
Yes, stand by, gentlemen. Let's get Anthony Patrick here in this conversation. Go ahead, Anthony. You want to say anything? Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good on this. Again, the melanin thing is not really my field. So, I'll go ahead and let that roll.
All right, sorry, I'll let you comment briefly, but we got to get some more callers and some of these email questions. Go ahead.
Peace, my brother. Do you know where melanin at on a periodic table?
Can you tell me what melanin is? Do you know the difference from a black person to a white person?
Yeah.
Because we're not the same people. You even admit that.
Yes. Okay, so if I admit that and you understood how I broke it down, why we're having this conversation?
Okay, I'm gonna let you go, brother.
Because you don't believe white people have no melanin. That is, you have to understand they have a little bit. Nobody is without. The Creator didn't make no one without.
All right, family, let's go to the next caller. Hold on, let me check the email real quick. Let me check the email again. If you have any email questions, debatetalk, the number 4, letter U at gmail.com. That's debatetalkforyou at gmail.com. For the callers, just press number 1. I see we have one other person press number 1 at this time, but we have a lot of callers. If you're listening on Skype, you can press number 1 as well. We have a lot of Skype callers out there. But let me check the email real quick. I think this question, let me see. It says, do you believe God is love? Do you find yourself having similar mindsets as an atheist? I guess this question is for Siheed. Go ahead.
Yes, I believe God is love. And no, I don't think I have similar thoughts as atheists. No, I don't. I don't believe that there is no higher power. I believe in a higher power, and that higher power is love.
All right, Anthony Patrick, you want to respond?
Yeah, see, that's the issue. You see what I'm saying is that, you're saying you believe that there's a higher power, and the truth, the Bible is the most debated, most read, most sold book in all history. And it literally has the truth of who that higher power is, and it's telling you how to have a relationship with him and what to do to move forward. And also how to and how to do what you were saying that you wanted to do, which is unify your people. But you're saying that you want to come up with your own ways of just trying to figure out using your own reasoning, and bro, that's just interesting to me. I mean, yeah, you're an atheist. You're basically an atheist, bro.
I appreciate that falsehood, and I'm gonna start with you saying that Christianity was the most popular and widespread when China's religion, that little red book, got more copies than the Bible. It sold more copies or published more copies than the Bible and spread it way more across the world. Islam is the fastest growing religion in modern day history. You can try to dispute it and say, well, Christianity. I'm not Muslim and I'm not Christian, but I am Muslim and I'm Christian, right? But I'm none. So you can say, oh, you're an atheist. Prove to me that I am an atheist. Why is it that I can't believe in a higher power and still, how can I believe in a higher power and still be an atheist?
I feel where you're coming from, and just real quick, the red book that you're referring to is probably the quotation from the works of Mao Zedong. And yeah, there's a lot of those sold. It's second with 820 million copies sold. The number one is the Bible. I didn't say Christianity. I said the Bible. The Bible far outsold any other book in all history. 3.9 billion copies sold.
See,
since that's been recorded.
You're talking about soul. I'm talking about America, the Western civilization. They like to sell religion for a profit, right? But everybody don't do that. So check the publishing. Check which one got published more, not which one sold more. Because some people don't try to make money off of religion every time, like some other religions do, even though we know that religion is the most profitable practice in the West. We do know that. So, let's not say which one was sold, which one made more money, because
none of that matters, though.
Yes, it does.
None of that matters, though. The fact is that
if one got published
the fact
more
is that
than the other, if I wrote more books than you, but you sold more than me, I gave out way more books. More people got my message because I had to publish more. Yeah, you sold more.
Bro, stay on topic, though. Stay on topic, though.
Wait, how am I off topic? We're talking about the religion, and you said one was sold or one had more than the other. Am I off of that right there?
Hey, we're still talking about
religion. That doesn't matter, though.
Books. Yeah, we're talking about religion. You know, this is referring to religious books. So, yeah, you on topic.
Yeah, I thought I was on topic. See, he trying to throw the audience off and because he don't really have nothing to come back with, so he want to tell me to stay on topic because he don't have nothing else for the topic. So let's just move on. Thank you.
I'm giving you facts though, man. I'm giving you facts though. This is Business Insider saying this.
Hold on, Siheed. Let him respond. Yeah, Anthony. Respond.
What I need for you to prove to me that there is a book that has been sold, that has been read, that has been debated, that has been discussed more than the Bible. Prove that. Show me some sources, bro, and then I'll be quiet. I'll relent. I'll be like, man, you on point. But until you do that, none of that other stuff matters, fam. I'm giving you facts.
Siheed.
Let's say that the Crusaders conquered more and pushed their book in more places. Does that mean it's real?
No, it doesn't mean it's real, but again, the premise is bad because the Crusades, the Bible predates the Crusades by thousands of years, fam.
But the
Bible been circulating.
Did they not?
But again, that doesn't matter what they conquered. What they conquered doesn't matter, man.
Did they not lay the
path for the Bible? No. The Bible's been circulating way before that. The Bible had a path way before that.
All right, family, let's get some more of your questions, your comments. Again, the phone lines is open, family. The phone lines is open. I know you got some questions out there. This is your chance to let your voice be heard. Remember, the show is archived, so you can always go back and check it out. So call in. The number is 319-527-6239. I know if you got some questions and you don't call in, you're going to miss your opportunity to get answers to some of the very important questions out there. So let's go to the next call. Let's go to 716-563 alive.
Hey, yo, peace and blessings, family. This your brothers in Ogden, Israel. How y'all doing? All right.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, Doctor. What's good, man?
Maintaining.
Shalom, shalom.
Hold on for 1 second. Please.
All right, family. Once again, that number to call in is 319-527-6239. Simply press number 1 if you have any questions. We're going to go down the switchboard and get some more of your questions, family. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, my bad, family. I just had to have somebody bringing something to the door. This is an interesting discussion. I hear my man Ant, one of the members of the dojo, was good. Ant, I see you holding it down, man. You're doing pretty decent for your first presentation on the biggest platform in urban debates. You feel me?
Appreciate that, fam. Appreciate that.
And what's the other brother's name? Is it Siheed? I want to say it right. Was it Siheed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Siheed.
Peace and blessings to you, King. You're not doing too bad yourself for the argument that you're trying to represent. I do think that the argument is flawed, but I believe you're sincere. And that's why I'm not trying to come on and, just be like, oh, this dude don't know nothing or this, that, and the third. I am a Bible follower. I am also a Christian. I want to put something out there just for everyone listening. It seems like I've heard melanin and other stuff go on, and I don't think melanin gives anyone a preeminence of divinity or anything else. I think you might do better in certain climates than others, but then other people with other physical characteristics will do better in other type of climates. We know with generations passing, there are genetic changes that happen because human beings can adapt. In our Bible, in the book of Acts chapter 17, the Apostle Paul preaches to the Greeks and says that all men of the earth, all the nations of the earth, are created out of one blood. So if our Bible is correct, and the God of heaven made the first male with the two, with the X and the Y chromosome, and then created the female from his DNA material and made a creature who carried just an X and not the X and the Y, then from there, the claim from the Bible is that all patterns of humanity come out of that. So if we all have one blood, one thing you will find, all people with melanin do not have the same blood type. And many of us share the same blood type with others. There are only so many blood types in the earth, and every ethnicity on the planet Earth carries every one of the blood types. So that right there should kill the idea of our flesh and blood house being any more superior to one than the other. Maybe, you might be able to endure certain atmospheres in another type of a structured human form will be able to endure something that would be more difficult for you because it is made and adapted to an environment. So I hope that we wouldn't allow that to be a discussion that in any way could be a point of focus for who is superior to another. Hey, Brother Saeed, I heard you say earlier that, we all, I guess from your line of studies, you kind of find that we all come from Africa somehow. And you had something about the Neanderthals and this, that, and the third. I think that's flawed argument. I mean, if you got some peer-reviewed primary sources that you could point us to read the arguments of those who would make the Neanderthal case for the white Caucasian brethren, it's interesting because when I see the white Caucasian brethren mixed with more melanated humanoids, I still see human children produced. So I don't see a different type of creature coming out of them. And when I see the white man, I see a human being. You know, I remember talking with some of my 5% brothers who would throw out these the 3 120s and the 360 degrees of knowledge, and I will always ask them, if 360 degrees full circle of knowledge makes you God-like in wisdom and understanding, how is it that the white man who you dial so much with 33 and the third degrees of knowledge still has all this control, and all you black dudes with this 360 ain't saved us yet? You feel me? So for me, that stuff is hogwash, King. I'm gonna say this, and I won't say too much more. If God made us in His image, He made us with a will and an ability to choose. And if we truly were made in His image, how is it that we don't pay the penalty for what we've done? I've heard a lot of, well, if God did this and if God did that, but I don't hear any responsibility for man's decision who was made in the image of God. And when his God made him, He said, look, if you do this, you go this way. If you do that, it'll go this way for you. Now, if God is sovereign, we can question the sovereign all we want, but that won't. Our questioning the sovereign doesn't diminish sovereignty. It's just like us questioning the president of the United States, whoever it might be in the office. We might hate his guts. But just because we can say, I don't like this president and he did this and did that, guess what? When we wake up tomorrow, guess who he still is? And guess who we still are? So if God is sovereign over creation, our ability, me and Sal, Saeed, our ability to even question God shows what He made us with. So if we have the ability to question the higher power, whatever it might be, if the higher power is responsible for our existence, then we have to take some responsibility for what is it that we have done that the higher power has said, if you do this or that, this is your sentence, right? And the last thing that I'll put on the table is more or less a question or a question to you all. Do you two brothers who are talking about religion, maybe this was the wrong title for this debate. Religion, it seems like you're talking about Christianity, but religion itself, if you go to the Merriam-Webster's, it could get into the, like it can name certain creeds, but religion itself is really an affection and an ardor or a devotion to a certain set of principles or thoughts or systems. So even if you reject, let's say, the Christianity system, the Islam system, the Buddhist system, the Kemetic system, and you just say, I within myself have knowledge and wisdom and I can make choices, that set of principles that you're dedicated to is said to be your religion. Religion itself, you have to, when we use the word religion, it has to be explained what religion means. So everything that human beings dedicate themselves to is a religion. So more or less we can argue about the certain type of systems or the certain religions. But religion itself is not the issue. I'll tell you this. If the only way the world won't have religion is if it don't have humans. Because as long as human beings exist and are on one accord, there will be different systems, and all you can do is point to a different religion, but you can't claim you have none. And my brother Saeed, I think that you may have read things in the Bible, but I'm not sure what you do and don't understand, so I don't even want to play you, fam, like somehow you don't know nothing out the Bible. But I'm Zadok Ben Israel, and I would invite you to get at me personally. I'll get the information from Sal. I'll debate on here this Friday. God willing, I'm a chop something. But I believe you sincere, and I want to talk to you one-on-one. We don't need no crowd. You can ask me anything about the Bible, because I don't think you understand Jesus, and I don't think that you understand the God of heaven, because you haven't dedicated yourself to it to understand it. But that don't mean that you haven't seen it and that your eyes haven't glanced it and that you don't have any form of comprehension. But I don't think that you're schooled in it enough to really defend some of the points that you're making against it. And so if you are willing, bro, let me reach out to you and build. And if not, it's cool. But I I respect you for holding your stance, and I think you're sincere. I don't think you're just trying to be a quote-unquote Bible basher. I really believe that you got questions that people ain't answered. So I ain't going to get on here and act like I know it all, but I'm going to tell you why I'm willing to stand for this, die for this, and any cat who ever came to me in their life with something, since I've been saved, this all I got to offer them, and I can share with you why I believe in this system. I can't defend something called Christianity. I can't defend what a pope did 1,000 years ago. I can't defend some priest who touched a boy. I can't defend some pastor in some neighborhood who taking money. I can't defend him just like I can't defend someone who don't believe in none of that and still could commit all of those atrocities. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, let me let us Siheed.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Siheed, you let us know.
Yeah, peace. It's all love, my brother. I like the assumptions, even though some of them were off a bit. But I appreciate you for the try, and it's maybe if you was listening to the whole debate, I can tell you came in on the tail end, probably in the middle. But I know you didn't catch it from the beginning, just because of your last couple of statements. But I appreciate you tuning in. Maybe you should go and listen to the whole debate later on. But I'm going to touch on what you said about something about melanin and people in different conditions can thrive better than us. Like, to me, that's just some type of self-doubt, because we want to put another race, when one of our own say that we are superior, our race will actually try to defend another race and throw their own race under the bus without any actual facts. Now, some would say, hey, the white man's nose is thinner, so he can do better in the cold. Wait, so you think our thicker, bigger nose can't breathe in the cold? Well, do you think the white man would live longer in the temperature versus if you put a black man and a white man in the freezer? Do you think that the white man body going to live longer than a black man body? Or is the cold going to kill them both because they're human? And melanin can't save you from that, right? See, I don't lessen or make another person lesser because they have a less amount of melanin. I just say we survive under the sun more. And people get offended. Like, I really disrespected another race. I didn't knock them down. I told the truth.
Hey, bro, I mean, respectfully, King, you straw manning, homie. Ain't nobody talking about some white person being superior or yellow or black. I don't think no one can prove through any physical characteristic that they would be more superior. So if melanin makes someone more superior, I think you're wrong. Now, if you want to talk about wisdom and understanding, and you believe that to be a merit for measuring superiority, maybe I would entertain that more. But I'm just talking about on the physical characteristic of someone having melanin. I don't think that that's a basis for superiority. Maybe, are you saying they're superior on the beach? Like, yo, you can last in the sun longer? That don't, you double talking yourself. You said that don't make you a better person.
One at a time, y'all. One at a time.
All right. Superior under the sun is not all that comes with melanin, right? I explained it a little earlier. And
I heard the pineal gland statement and all that. That's old comedic science. I'm hip to all that. What are you basing black superiority on then? Okay, so what is the thing that makes a melanated individual superior at the end of the day? If you had to just say it in a quick statement, what would that be?
We are superior under the sun than a white person. Yes, I would say that 100%.
Okay.
Because it's a proven fact. Like, they would get cancer before we would. Is that
okay? I got no problem with that, Sam.
Okay.
I ain't got no problem with that. Okay.
Fact. Is that superiority in that one aspect or no? We can move on after that. Is that superiority in that one aspect? Yes or no?
Superior in the context of you're stronger in that than that person in that. Yeah, that's no problem. I ain't got no problem with that.
Then that when I say
just like a taller man would probably be superior in dunking on a higher level than a midget would, but that don't make a midget an inferior person, does it? I just want to get up. I just want to understand how this connects to religion, because when I heard the conversation, I didn't know how it connected to religion. So I guess I was trying to, y'all lost me with the melanin so long. I was like, okay, so how do you connect the melanin to religion again? Like, is the world better off with religion?
Say that Cain. Did you hear the brother say Cain?
Yeah, I heard that foolishness.
By God?
I heard that foolishness.
So wouldn't that be part of religious talk if we're talking about what God supposedly took from another man?
Well, that wasn't in the Bible. I think you caught that guy out there. But we talking about if we're talking about the Bible, I'm not defending all religions on the earth. If we talking about the Bible won't say God took no melanin from Cain. But I will say this, bro, and I'm gonna go ahead and back off because I know that Ant got to say something, bro. If there's such a problem, because on one hand you're saying you believe in a higher power, but the thing is this: is that if the God we believe in, and if the word itself is untrue, then it's either God is making us as robots or he made us free. And if I truly am made free to choose and to decide and to think and to act, then my love is real. But if I am just a robot made by the hand of some creator, then even when I claim to love, it really ain't love. It's nothing but a programmed response.
Is God omnipotent? Will God's will be done? Will God's will be done? Or
do you understand what God's will is? I ain't got no problem with God's will, but do you understand what his will is?
All right, so whose will be done, man's or God?
Oh, God's will be done, but that's not the question.
So
but
why would man have a will?
Yeah, hold on. Let me jump in real quick because I gotta let Anthony respond to some of this. I gotta let Anthony respond to some of this. And like Zadok said, he's willing to have me pass his information to you, Siheed. If you want to ask him any further questions, just let me know if you want me to do that or not. But Anthony, I gotta let you respond. And by the way, audience, you have like 3 minutes on the air. We have 3 minutes on the air before we go into the overtime part of the show. What that means, if you're listening on social media, if you're listening on Blog Talk Radio, once that time runs out, the only way you can hear the rest of the show live is by calling in. You got to call in before that time runs out to hear the rest of the show. Again, the number is 319-527-6239. We're getting ready to go into the overtime part of the show. So again, if you're listening online, you're gonna have to call in to hear the rest of the show. Anthony, you can respond.
Yeah. I'm glad Brother Zadok called in, man. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the he's a great teacher of Israel, and I think he made some good points. And what I want to just say real quick is that, I was really wondering the same thing. I was assuming that you were saying that because I was wondering how melanin had anything to do with God or religion, and I was assuming you were trying to say that's why I was saying that they were deity. Maybe you're trying to say that people with melanin were deity. That's why I was assuming that, because I mean the show's not about skin tone. That's pretty I don't understand what the point was in that regard, but he made some good points anyway with regard to that. I mean there are people who have the same haplogroup as us who are white. Most African Americans, so-called African Americans, have the E1B1A haplogroup. There are a very small percentage, but there are Caucasians who have the same haplogroup as us. So I mean, I try to stay away from all that. You know what I'm saying? That's away from my point of focus. But one thing I would encourage you, brothers, to reach out to Ox Zadok, man. Reach out to him. And I think it would. I agree with him. I think that there's a lot of misunderstandings that you have with regard to this faith and with regard to the true and pure religion of the Bible. I think you're automatically defaulting and thinking about Christianity, like traditional Western Christianity that you've seen from, Catholicism and different things like that. and you're trying to tackle that on and say that's the religion of the Bible when it's just not, fam. So yeah, I would encourage you, man, to reach out to him. And but that's it. That's all I got.
All right, Siheed, I'm gonna let you respond, and after that, we got to take some more callers. I think we have another email question as well. All right, Siheed, you can respond. Go ahead.
Okay. The reason melanin came up is because brother said blacks were inferior in the Western or something like that in the beginning of our conversation. So I wanted to educate him on why I didn't feel that we was inferior. And
I never said that though, bro.
Okay, it's on record. We could chop it up about it later. That's why I brought up the melanin factor.
Yeah, I never said that. Yeah, it's recorded.
All right, so let's get to the next caller. Let's go to 404-940. You are live.
Hey, how y'all brothers doing? This is young Padawan here. From what I actually just catching like the tail end of the discussion. I didn't catch the debate at all. From what I've heard, I do think I agree with Zadok. I think a lot of times the word religion is used like as a term only to kind of classify like what we define as religious, like Christianity or Buddhism or Islam and stuff like that. But religion is simply a system of beliefs. Also, in regards to kind of like the back and forth of what these two other brothers were going about, it like the idea of superiority. Like I don't know, like I'm sure there is documented proof, like because people say like melanin helps you, I guess, or melanin is better for like absorbing sun and protecting against skin cancer. But I don't know if there's any documented studies on a case of which like white people contract skin cancer more than black people. And I don't know if the brother did or did not because I didn't hear the debate. But if he did infer that like black people are inferior in the Western Hemisphere, I think it's true. I'm Haitian, and I live in a country where like black people are like you having melanin and being able to survive under the sun doesn't really kind of have anything to do with anything when you're starving. Just like the Negroes here in America and in Cuba and all these other different places, you could say like they're inferior. So like the idea of physical attributes being something that you could use as a length of superiority for the sake of saying that it's like a physical attribute that you're better at, then yeah. But as far as like who we are as mankind or men or human beings, I think that is what we are as a race, like the human race, not like an ethnic race. Because like my grandfather is white and I'm a black skinned person, so I think that just kind of goes to show that maybe it's not what we think it is or what it may seem to be. That's all I got to say.
I never. Am I on?
Yeah,
I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I never said that the future generations couldn't receive melanin. That's something that is given back because that's what was lost from the human race after the split, after the division, after the separation. Something was lost.
Separation of what? I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar.
People. When people migrated here and when everything split, all of humanity split into sections, we went tribal and we wasn't a unit. We wasn't a one unit anymore. We got big and everybody started thinking in groups and forming their own belief system. So the last caller came on and he said that the same thing you said about religion. And if y'all listen to the very beginning, y'all agree with what I said about religion. That was the first thing I said. And only thing I did with the word religion was give praise and worship to the rest of the humans. And Brother Ant, he went at that, and that's where the debate really came into, because he didn't want me praising or worshiping women. Just worship the God, Jesus Christ or whoever that he only want me to worship. And I believe we should worship each other and praise each other and show each other that reverence and respect. So I'm not trying to say that there is no God. What I'm saying is we are in the image of God, and that image is mind, not body. It's mind. The mind is the image of the creator of all. And we all have a mind, all of us. And that is the image. It's not arm, leg, mind. Peace.
I don't know if Ant is going to respond.
Oh, by the way, yeah, just to let y'all know, Anthony line dropped. His phone just dropped. However, he may know somebody on the phone line to put him in via three-way, so we're working on that behind the scenes, but his call just dropped. But we're trying to get him back on. Hopefully he can get back on. But again, you can respond 404. Go ahead.
No, I think I would have to agree with the idea of the image being more of a mind. The Bible, and like I said, I totally I didn't hear any of the debate. I only came in for like the Q&A part. But if I can say, the Bible talks about not reviling the gods of the people, and there are different historical documents that are extra biblical. Because I'm a Bible like defender and believer and toter myself. So, but there are documents in history that kind of show how we did live together, and how in ancient times that men usually lived in tribes and communities and so on and so forth. But because of the corruption of the image or the man, now we have all these different types of divisions. I don't say that the divisions that come and like what people dictate as races, or like the different pigments in people's skins and the different textures of people's hairs is kind of the differentiation of who people are, like where they come from, outside of like maybe like lineage. But the biggest thing from my understanding is the idea of the human race or the human family, the human populace, which is we all come from one person, depending on what you believe. But all human males are made the same unless there's some type of defect. All human females are made the same. They produce the same. They can, procreate the same, so on and so forth. So I think the image is important, and, we can reverence one another, but there's a distinct difference between somebody who was born as a child, as an infant, just like you and I both were, and everybody else who's listening who grew up in the world of men, and we came to learn different things through things that have already existed. So we're being taught things that have already existed. Like nothing is new under the sun. So only whatever your argument is or whatever thoughts you have accumulated, and that's anybody throughout the process of time, is something that has been existing since the beginning of time, and people have basically put their own spin on different things as opposed to kind of watching the entire truth. So I do think there's a distinction between the creator and the created. I do think men can reverence one another in, love, but it has to be in fear of the creator. And that's what I'll say.
All right, gentlemen, just to let y'all know, stand by side, just to let y'all know, we got Anthony back on. Anthony, I got to, let him respond to some of this. I don't know if you heard any of what was said, but you want to respond to anything, Patrick? Go ahead.
No, unfortunately, I just got on, so I didn't get the opportunity to hear what was said.
All right, hold on. 404, can you just briefly break down any questions or comments you had for Patrick to respond to? Briefly, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just letting you know that I just tuned in. I was only part of the Q&A thing, or caught the last portion of the Q&A. I was just going into a couple of different things, and I thought about how the so-called colored man in the Western Hemisphere, really all around the earth, is subject to oppression, just like all other men. It's not a different thing, and the idea of superiority doesn't, really have grounds as far as when you like however you value a human life, not in running and jumping and being able to sustain yourself under the sun, as opposed to like the mind, which if it's an issue or a discussion of the mind, then it should be that. And I was also just now talking about how you can have love and reverence and respect and fear for another man, but there's a distinct difference between a man who is created or a man who exists just like all other men and women, and whatever it is that is the entity that created the man, the mind, the trees, the animals, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, most definitely,
he is
man.
to be praised.
And who's to be praised? Oh, but yeah, no, all I would say to that is that I think you're on point with regard to there does seem to be some sort of trend worldwide as far as the darker races. You can go from Europe to Australia to even to the Americas, North, South America. The list goes on, and it seems like the darker races are the ones who are the most oppressed. There's a lot more to go with that, but all I could say is, man, most definitely, I'm with you on that, bro.
All right. We're in the overtime part of the show, family. We're in the overtime part of the show. So I appreciate everybody that called in, listening to the rest of the show, and listen to avoid any more drop-offs. We're going to try to pretty much wrap it up. I don't want nobody else to fall off, Siheed nor Anthony Patrick. What I'm going to do, I see I have another email question. Let me just read this email question, and after that, we're going to the final statement part of this debate. Once again, I appreciate all the callers out there that tuned in. I just don't want the callers to drop off again. So one last question. It says, many people in the world had their lives changed for the better because of religion. Please tell me what's so wrong with it if it made me a better individual. Some murderers, drug dealers, rapists, etc. stopped doing the madness because they gave their lives to a higher being. All right, Siheed, you can answer that.
I didn't say not to. I didn't say that the religion didn't. I actually said I take some of the things from religion, each of the religions, right? I said I used to be Muslim. I said I am a Christian. I said I'm not a Christian. So I know the power these religions have. I understand the division in the religion. I understand the separation in these religions. So, yeah, you can find good in your religion. You can also find bad in your religion. All I ask for is that we try to unify with a religion that would help humanity, the whole animal kingdom, all of us here should be respected because we are existing, and anyone who's existing is a winner. We have no losers here, even though some religions say we are born in sin. But I say sin is what man gave it. Sin is what man made it. But that's just me.
All right, Anthony.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Let me read it again.
Can you repeat that email?
Yeah, let me read it. Hold on, let me get to it. It says, many people in the world had their lives changed for the better because of religion. Please tell me what's so wrong with it. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Please tell me what's so wrong with it if it made me a better individual. Some murderers, drug dealers, rapists, etc. stopped doing the madness because they gave their lives to a higher being.
That's a great question. That is a great question, and I can basically say that from my own personal experience that when I came to the realization of who I was in Mashiach, and who I was with regard to the Bible, and when I came to the understanding to follow the Most High, that delivered me from so many issues. There were so many tosses and turns and directions, wrong directions that I would have ended up if I didn't gain that understanding. And it's all praises to the Most High with regard to that. And for some, and that's why what I'm saying is, for you to come across like, oh man, religion is evil, and the religion of the Bible is evil, and we need to come up with something new. I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? That's mind-boggling to me because it's so opposite of evil. Things that are going against what's being taught in this Bible is what's evil. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about, is the process of removing evil from existence, to where we're coming into this land of world peace, which is only going to come about. The only hope we have is through this pure religion that's talked about in the Bible.
All right, family. All right. Unfortunately, I have to, stop getting some of the calls. I see we have a lot of people listening to the show, but again, I don't want the calls to drop for the special guests. So to avoid that, we're going to go into the final statements and hear their final statements. And again, I have their contacts in the description box. So if you want to reach out to any of the special guests, look at the description box and you can reach out, ask them your questions, let them know what you thought about this debate. And of course, once again, I appreciate both special guests for coming on the platform, and hopefully we can bring them back on again, of course, with different opponents, of course. And, we appreciate the content. But let's go to Siheed with his final statement. We're going to give you 7 minutes. Siheed, final statements. Go ahead.
All right. See, he got a talking point with he want to say Saheed saying the Bible is bad. Saheed didn't come in and say, "Oh well, I was a Christian and I left." I said I left Islam. Does that mean I said the whole Islam is evil? No. I said there's certain things in all of these books that's evil and we don't need it. And when your moral compass is in a book that's telling you how to treat your slave and the laws you should give to your Hebrew servant, the Bible actually says these are the laws you should give to your Hebrew servant. And the last one was actually to make him become a slave for life. For life. But that's the Bible. But if you think we should enslave others for whatever reason, I would say your religion does not want you to respect other humans because it's not given, it's earned. When I think respect and love should be given, it don't have to be earned. We should all love first and fear never. But we can't help it because we are conditioned people, white and black. And some say, yo, Saeed, why you talk about superiority? I talk about it because it's true. It's real. Why do I talk about slavery? Because it was true, and it is real. Why do I talk about certain things? Because some of us need like an electric shock and a defibrillator to the chest or to the brain. A mental defibrillator would actually shock people into being orientated, because a lot of us are woke, but they're not orientated, and that's what we need to do. We need to be woke plus orientated. I heard that from a friend of mine, Milton Conway. He's a good brother. But this is what we need, society. We don't need the religion of the Bible. The religion of the Bible is not going to stand the test of times in humanity. We keep grabbing at straws. And all we're seeing is the separation and division. Everybody keep pointing words at me with their religion that's throwing separation in the game. Oh, you can't marry somebody outside of your tribe. Oh, well, that tribe over there, if you marry that tribe, if you have a baby from that baby mother, your baby might not go to heaven because God said not to have a baby by them. Well, if God said not to, he wouldn't let you. How can God say not to and then every baby is a blessing? But if every baby is a blessing, how can we turn a blessing away and say, oh, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks, God. I'm going to abort this one. You sent me this blessing and I ain't ready. Thank you, but no thank you. And just abort it. But then we want to say we're pro-lifers, but want to take life and put them in a gas chamber. That's because of religion. Everything happens on this physical right now in today's day and age is because of race and religion. And we are in a race because it's a bunch of different ethnicities. There's a bunch of different groups trying to get to that capitalist finish line. And they say, well, if the blacks are superior, why they can't come together and do this, da-da-da-da-da? Well, because, you know why? Because they're so superior, they have a superiority complex, and they think they can do it alone. They can't. We can't. We need to band together because if we don't hold each other's hand and pick each other up to get across that finish line in this race, we're going to stay. And I tell y'all that because we need to know this. And I'm saying it with love. And some people might say I'm saying it with hate. I'm saying it with anger. I'm saying it with ignorance. But I'm not. I truly am saying it with love. I didn't disrespect white people. I only told facts. When I said superiority under the sun, it offended my black brethren. I don't understand why. Why did they jump out the window and say, oh, I ain't disrespect them. I've said this to white people, and they understood. But when I say it to a black person, they are offended because they don't want to offend white people. They don't think we should offend white people. Well, in this society, we are offended. So when we act out and when we talk back, that's just us being human. They shouldn't get offended when we speak our truth. But it is what it is. And religion will evolve. And we will come to understanding once we become a type 1 civilization planet. And once we become a type 2 civilization planet, all gloves is off. So I know a lot of people don't know what that is, but you can look it up. There's a few videos on YouTube or Facebook or something. You can look up type 1. Well, the Earth is like a 7. We're not even a type 1. So, and that's when we will be one.
All right, once again, that's Brother Siheed, Cleveland. We appreciate you, my brother, for coming on the platform. Once again, check the description box for those who want to reach out to any of the special guests. Check the description box. But for now, we have to go to Anthony for his final statements. And again, I appreciate you as well for coming on the platform. Check the description box if y'all want to reach out to the brother. Anthony, you have 7 minutes for the final statements. Go ahead.
Yeah. This was definitely an interesting discussion, and I definitely appreciate the dialogue. But to be frank, we are talking about something that I believe is very serious, very important, and I really hope audience that y'all really listen to both sides and really took a look at what we're really dealing with here. I mean, we're on the topic of, is the world better off without religion? I made a case specifically that the world is doomed without religion, specifically the pure, undefiled religion of the Bible, of the Most High. Now, the brother Siheed here, he's saying he has a better idea than that. He's saying he has a better way than that. But yet he has yet to tell us what that idea is. All we've heard was, I'm just going to go off of what feels best to me. I'll pick and choose from some things that I liked out of the Quran. If I like it, I'll go with that and I'll follow that. If I don't like these things, I won't follow that. I'll go into the Bible, I'll open up. If there's some things I like, I'll follow that. If there's some things I don't like, then I won't follow that. Fam, what is that going to lead to? I submit to you that our brother here is molding himself up a golden calf of his own and saying, this is my God. Just like our forefathers did after the Most High redeemed us from slavery in Egypt. The same way. And then on top of that, Mr. Siheed is bringing up things that he believes the Bible is saying, but it's just simply not. I've heard him mention things about people are not saved and going to hell if they were born out of wedlock, when the Bible doesn't say nothing like that. I hear my brother talking about how the Bible is all about slavery, when in Exodus chapter 1 literally says if you kidnap someone and sell them into slavery, that's the death penalty. That was a death penalty in ancient Israel, to kidnap someone and bring them into slavery. I wonder if my brother knows that. He says that things here that I think really highlights, it's almost like brothers putting up a banner that's saying, I'm misinformed. And that's why, man, real talk, man, real talk. I encourage you to reach out to Brother Zadok, man. I encourage you to reach out to him, because your understanding of the scriptures, your understanding of this pure and undefiled religion of the Bible, of the Most High, is flawed. Through the Mashiach Yehoshua, through Christ Jesus, is where this redemption is going to come from. You the one who said we need to band together. And you mentioned that people are saying, the reason why we haven't band together is because of this. The reason why we can't unify is because of this. We've been talking like that as a people for at least 100 years, at least. I will tell you why we haven't been able to band together. We haven't been able to unify as we've been wanting and trying to do for so long. It's one thing that we haven't tried yet. We've been marching. We've been screaming. We've been protesting. We've been Black Lives Matter. We done tried everything in the book. We done had some great leaders. But one thing that we have not done as a people is exactly what the scripture's been telling us to do since day one. And that's to repent and turn back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and Mashiach Yehoshua. You said that religion will evolve. How? You have yet to tell us how. And you told me that I'm going to learn today. But I'm going to submit to you, bro, that tonight you're going to learn today. And I hope you do. I pray that you do. Because this is above and beyond me and you. This is above and beyond me and you. This is about the world. This is about our descendants after us. And we're in a time in history right now that I believe is more significant than even the civil rights movement. We used to always look and study about the civil rights movement and what Martin Luther King did in the days of Malcolm X. And I used to just imagine, like, man, I wish I was living during that time. I wish I was there. I would have done this. I would have done that. Right now, I believe that we are in a time that's greater than that, the Great Awakening, where we are actually coming back to the nationality that was stolen from us through slavery. We're actually coming back to the truth of who we really are, who we really were before it was specifically and purposely stripped from us due to slavery, which means we're on the cusp of redemption. And, bro, the golden calf is not going to give that to you. The making up of your own thing will not work. It's time to turn to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and accept Christ. I greatly appreciate it, y'all. It was a blessing tonight, and I'm gone.